Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NECC. I am your host, Jaron Bell, and I will be taking you through a full evening of Rocket League action here at the NECC playoffs. But like I always like to say, there's a little bit of electricity in the air tonight because you can feel it coming in the air tonight. How that song goes, my boy Voltage Plays is in the building. Volt, what is up, you handsome devil?
What's happening, man? We're getting into the quarterfinals of the NECC playoffs tonight, which is super exciting.
Absolutely. It is going to be unbelievable, this matchup. We are ready for we're going to get to see the number one seed in the Challengers division as the University of Montana, the Grizzlies, come in to face the 4 seed in Becker College, who won. They took a win over Carroll University in the last round, advancing here to play Montana today. And I tell you what, this is going to be a fast matchup, Volt. You have a team that just won their first round matchup coming in against a team that was 8-0 in the regular season and the number one seed. I mean, what are you expecting out of tonight's match? I think it's going to be insane.
Right, Becker's sitting at 4-3. They had some tough times during the season, but on Friday night's game against Carroll, where they won 3-1, the first two games looked so dominant. If they come out with that dominant form and play the pace that they want to play, then I think that they have a chance at taking a couple games away from them for sure. But it's going to be a very tough battle. Montana's a solid team.
You are absolutely right. Montana comes in here as the heavy favorite, as the number one seed in the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere tonight as we are going to have multiple games for you. If I can break down that real fast, after this, you will see in the Challengers division, you'll see Howard Community College face off against California State University Dominguez Hills in the 2 and 3 seed in the Challengers division. Then we will move to the Champions division tonight. You will see the number one seed in Illinois Westland facing off against Central Methodist. And we will round out the night by seeing the number 2 seed in Durham facing off against the number 6 seed St. Ambrose, who just came off a massive upset victory in the playoffs over Kansas Westland. I mean, Volt, it is going to be an unbelievable night of Rocket League action.
No, absolutely. The high that St. Ambrose must be feeling right now. I'm actually concerned for that number one Illinois team
Ooh.
because it was some solid Rocket League being played, and I'm excited for all games tonight.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. And all of this fantastic action that you're going to see tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by our proud partners, our friends at Helix Esports, for all they do for us behind the scenes. We're extremely grateful. And if you haven't checked out our brand new website, you need to check that out. Our friends, courtesy of our friends at Meta Pro Gaming. If you have any esports arena needs or just questions you might have, reach out to our friends at Meta Pro Gaming. They were absolutely easy to work with and very, very knowledgeable. They can help you out. Our friends at Really, some of the best Twitch generation software, Twitch clip generation software, that is, that you can ever find. You need to check them out. And of course, our friends at HyperX. I know that Volt has his on. He always does. I've got mine on. HyperX, some of the best gear in gaming, now comes to the NECC. Of course, the NFL Alumni Association, all of our proud partners. We appreciate them. But at the top of that list has to be our friends at ESTV. ESTV are the proud linear TV partner of the NECC. That's a lot of letters. I'm just telling you that's a lot of letters to say. But ESTV now available on Samsung TV Plus, the Roku channel, Vizio, plenty of options for you to download their platform and check out esports action from around the globe, including all of the NECC playoffs. I tell you what, Volt, this is going to be non-stop action, and I am very excited about it. We're going to go ahead and let them know that we are ready to get kicked off as we are about to see the number 1 seed in Montana facing off against the number 4 seed in Becker College. And if I'm correct, as I look at this here, this is going to be a semifinal matchup here. And Volt, the winner of this match is going to be playing in the finals, correct?
Right. So, oh, you're right. Semifinals. We just had quarterfinals.
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
Going crazy. So we do have Montana saying they are ready. We are just waiting for Becker to say the word, and we will have these teams join up here. And it's definitely going to be an exciting game. So to go over the teams real quick, we've got Heads, Cogtray, and Vaca Flocka, the main three for Montana. The playmaker, the one that's going to be scoring most of the goals generally is going to be Heads, but he's going to be supported by two great players on either side. And there is Becker saying we are ready. So we're going to have the teams join up.
Absolutely. And that Becker College team absolutely spearheaded by that combination of Mountain Drew and Perf Taco. Yokel's unbelievably talented as well. We know there are a lot of Perf Taco fans in the Twitch chat every time these teams go to face off. And I tell you what, this is going to be back and forth action. Myself, Jaron Bell, Voltage plays on the calls. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the semifinals in the NECC Playoffs.
Almost a big welcome from Cogtray there, as he got a great kickoff, but the mechanical genius that is Perf Taco is controlling the wall on that controlling the ball on that right wall, excuse me. And so just to quickly touch on the Becker team, as Montana takes a well-positioned chance there. Yokels right now is going to be your playmaker. That's where I was heading with that one. Gets a great dribble, brings it up the side, is confident that he can outplay Heads there, and just waits, lets Heads go by, and Cogtray was not ready for that shot.
Absolutely. Heads just jumps right out of the way, and you love that present information, or that present goal celebration. It is almost Christmas time. Vaca Flocka going to get up in the air, but Mountain Dew is right there. Let's see if Cogtray can return it.
Right, and then as I was saying, Perf Taco, he is mechanically inclined, and Mountain Drew, I feel like he's always in the right place at the right time. Both these teams are very solid, as Vaca Flocka puts it center for Cogtray, gets dropped down by Perf Taco, and just a little bit to the left from Yokels.
Absolutely right. Ball sent into the center here. Yokels on the ball, trying to get it through. Cogtray going to send it out, and go ahead and follow this up. Let's see if anyone can get there, but he can't. Cogtray makes a one-man play between two defenders and puts this ball in the back of the net. What did you see there, Bolt?
I saw Perf Taco a little bit too far ahead, and Mountain Drew, while he was going back, he was in the right position. He trusted that Perf was going to get that save, but he did not, so he was just not prepared for it. Didn't want to overcommit. He wanted to follow up Perf Taco's save there. And both these plays have been a solo play for the most part, which is very interesting. At this level, generally, you're seeing passing plays or demos or bumps like that as Cogtray gets sent back to his own back wall.
Oh, look at this! Look at this replay right here. If you look at what Perf Taco did, he sent this right off the top, straight down, and his teammate Mountain Drew, Volt, he was right there on top of the pass down from the top and puts it in the net for a 2-1 Becker lead.
Yeah, Mountain Drew says, get big, get into the gym, because I'm going to overpower you and put it straight in. Scoreline 2-1, and so far it's looking like the beginnings of an upset. Oh, as Vaca Flocka just touches it over the crossbar to send it out. And a great secondary clear there.
And I tell you what, we have seen teams in this division start off slow, but right now not starting slow. Yokel's going to clear it, Perf Taco takes it. But like I was saying, Volt, we've seen teams come into these playoffs and start a little slow. Do you think both these teams are firing, or do you think we're still going to see more action as we go here?
Well, it has been quite some time since Montana's played at the NECC level. So they've had at least a week and a half off here. And then on the other side of things, Becker just played last Friday. They've had a weekend off. That is it. So they're a little bit more loose, I would assume, a little more confident. Got some swagger after a win. But Montana, though, I think they'll get back into it pretty quickly here, either later in this game or in the beginning of game 2, and just possibly overpower. But I do like what I'm seeing here as Yokels dodges a bump there in goal. But Vaca Flocka almost puts it top corner.
And right now, Montana was on a massive run, but the big demo from Yokel comes out. Perf Taco sends to the center. Oh, going to be an opportunity, but Head clears it, Bolt.
Yeah, Heads is a fantastic player. He is the one that is set up in the right spot and has the mechanical skill to finish it off. So that's the player that you're going to want to watch, in my opinion, from Montana. You're going to be very careful about where he is. But Yokels over-rotates a little bit, gets boost, but that's fine. Perf Taco is there to support. And Yokel takes it from the back post. That was a great play for him to rotate back around. And what a demo. And the Perf Taco up from the pass, and there's no stopping it.
Oh my goodness, what a play. That demo so crucial right there. It took him out of the play. And Volt, you've talked about this so much, but right now, just the meta in competitive Rocket League with the bumps and the demos coming out, and it showed it right there.
Oh, absolutely. If you take a defender out of the net, you're playing a 3v2, especially if you can recover quickly after that. And it's also, it could possibly, you know, get them off their groove, their mentality a little bit tilted, if you will. Perf Taco has a great setup to the middle there. Not anything going to come from that, as Heads puts out the Baka Flocka. Just there, just in time.
Oh my goodness. And we've seen a lot of pressure from this Montana team. They have put a lot of pressure on them, but just haven't been able to follow it up. Let's see, Cogtre right there played it into the center, and it's going to be played to the center right now again. And man, a couple mistouches, but what are you thinking as you see all this pressure from Montana not able to capitalize?
Right now, I think that they shouldn't be too worried about it right now. The Becker team came out swinging and swinging hard. They did. They just got to focus on their rotations when they do get a touch on the ball. Make it a solid touch. Like earlier's goal, Baka Flocka, it just hit off the top of his head, you know, on his hood of his car. If he jumped, he could have made that save there, but he was just in an awkward position. So make sure your touches are useful.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind everyone that this is a best of 5 series, so we have a long way to go here tonight. But here's going to be an option shot on Perf Taco with a massive save. Oh, and no one's back, Volt.
Oh, yeah, Heads was running back, but unfortunately, Yokels wasn't able to get back in time. As Perf Taco with a great center there, just not enough to get over Cogtre. And it's going to be back on Montana to try to score here very quickly, as I always say. I think I mentioned it once a week. You only need three seconds. And that is when the clock strikes midnight. Becker is going to take a game off the undefeated Montana team.
And there it is, like you called it, as the ball touches the ground. I mean, my goodness, Volt, how about the number 4 seed in Becker College? They come in after a round 1 win over Carroll University. And Volt, they have, like you said, maybe there's some rust. The fact that Montana hasn't played in a little bit. Becker College, super fresh, playing Friday in that victory over Carroll University. I mean, they look like the hotter team right now.
Yeah, currently they definitely look like the hotter team, the team that's playing together a lot more for sure. Maybe Montana just hasn't been playing comps together, and they just come in here since at some games it just looks so easy for Montana during the regular season. Maybe they didn't take this as seriously as they needed to. We will see as the upcoming games go ahead, but currently Perf Taco, Mountain Drew, and Yokels all score a goal. So the whole team working together there on Becker.
Well, listen, I can tell you this much. Even when the New York Giants came in as a wild card and won the Super Bowl a few years ago, you have to worry about those teams in the middle of the playoff bracket, because if they can get on a run, they can be absolutely dangerous. And Volt, how important is it now as we look at it? You and I had conversations in the regular season. All you have to do is get into the dance, as we've seen Becker win, and right now they have a 1-0 lead in a best of 5 series against the number 1 seed.
Yeah, well, I mean, a 1-game lead isn't saying a whole lot. You need 3. If I see a 2-game lead, you know, especially if you got 2 games to 1 or 0, you're looking at 1 game away. Right now, we're still looking at 2 and 3 games away, which is still a lot of Rocket League to be played, as Yokels pushes that one out. Baka Flocka rotating back.
Absolutely. Head's going to try to play this out of his own corner. The ball is played to the Becker side. Let's see if Montana can capitalize. Going to send it back to the center, but a double commit right there.
Yeah, Heads was very smart not to move up too hard on that. Both of his players went up to try to center it for each other, and both of them just got stuck in awkward situations. so it was very smart for him to turn back, play a little bit of shadow defense, which is not something that I think we've talked about too much here, as Heads puts a shot on net. Double commit for the save. Cogtray up. They should be able to recover by then.
A little bit of a mistouch by Cogtray right there. You'd have liked to seen him put that more on net, but there could be a follow-up. Cogtray going to keep it in the Becker side of the field. Heads going to send it. I'd love to see Heads get this to the center right here, right now. Oh, no.
Center, he did. Center of net, but Perf Taco is there to shut that one down as Cogtray turns and keeps the pressure on Becker. Both Heads and one of the Becker players missed there, but Perf Taco and the rest of the Becker team are back. And Vaca Flocka just missing to the side, a little bit more speed on that shot, and it would have gone in. Vaca Flocka finishes the pass from Heads.
My goodness. Let's watch this replay. You can see the ball gets hung up a little bit, a couple opportunities, and Vaca Flocka is right there, and splash indeed as he puts it in the back of the net. My goodness, 1 goal, Montana University.
Yeah, on Becker, we had a few players with very, very low boost, and at least 2 of them going each time, so they were not set up to defend on the next shot. And then on the other side of Montana, those were, they were shots on net, but they were not good shots on net. I mean, they eventually got one in, so it's surprising to me that they are having trouble hitting the center of net at times. Vaca Flocka not having trouble there. It's a big save coming out from Perf Taco again, who gets a savior medal. 3 saves already.
Opportunity here! Oh, I didn't mean to jump over you. I apologize. Shot to the middle, though, as it looks like, is that Cogtray? It was between 2 Becker defenders, sends it out to Heads, and Heads drops it in the net and gets it splashed again. 2-0 Montana. Could we see a turn here, Volt?
I think the turns have tabled. I definitely think that is the case here, as Becker are now playing on their feet, back feet here, as Heads finishes a fantastic pass from Cogtray. Watch him just hang this ball right in front of his own net after feeding Perf Taco and then feeding, I believe that was Yokels, and Perf Taco just not able to get back in time.
Well, and Heads played that off, but you can't give enough credit to Cogtray as he played it between 2 defenders and then Head was able to finish. What a play.
Oh, absolutely. Second assist in 5 seconds there? It was a great play, as Becker's going to have to bring this back to their pace, play the way that they want to play to be able to beat this Montana team. They've taken a game off them already, and that's going to be a 4th goal in this 2nd game.
Well, and if you look at this replay right here, you're going to see this mistouch. It's just a mistouch by Perf Taco, and again, it's a little mistake, but kudos to Cogtray, who is able to capitalize on it and put it in the net, and this game is getting out of hand. But like you said, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, this is by far not over in this game.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, if the other team was able to score that many in that amount of time, you're able to do it right back at them. Both these teams are high-level teams. But at the same time, when you've got a four-goal deficit, it's hard to mentally come back from that. Mountain Drew a little slow to that ball there. Had low boost, but he needed to get up and challenge quickly. Oh, what a clear from Cogtray as he gets bumped.
Absolutely. Mountain Drew going to go ahead and try to chase this ball, put it in. Yokels goes to the center. Oh, Yokels overplays it a little bit. Here's an opportunity, but Heads is right there.
Yeah, they're getting some momentum here, but nothing too close to net, nothing too scary as a double commit there in the corner. But what a backflip from Yokels, who pops it over the head of Vaca Flocka.
Yeah, that backflip so beautiful right there. But let's see, right now, Becker College needs to try to mount some offensive. They've been doing a good job of trying. They did it in the first game, excuse me. But here's another opportunity, and Mountain Drew plays it off, Volt.
Yeah, Cogtray, his touches have been insane this game. So far, still only 2 assists, I believe. Let me double check that. Yeah, 2 assists and 1 goal, but his touches have been very important touches and useful touches. So I like how he's playing currently. Heads following up a play from Cogtray, who's going out for the bump. Perf Taco 50s with Heads. Vaca Flocka decides to go back, play a little defense. He is first one up as both his teams rotate behind him.
Ball going to be played in to the Montana side. Let's see what we can do. Perf Taco is the only one back. He will get this touch. Send it to the right side, but Heads is there. Going to put it on goal. Will somebody be there? Oh, no. Cogtray. Ball's off.
Yeah, the inconsistency right now really on either side. If you want to win this game, you're going to have to play consistent Rocket League. And there's too many, balls that are on your side of the field that you really need to clear, or too many balls in front of the other team's net that you really need to just be able to push in there, like Mountain Drew did last game, that are just going by. It could have been a lot higher scoring of a game than it is. But currently we're sitting at 4-0 with 25 seconds left on the clock. And unless a miracle happens soon, that is going to be all she wrote for game number 2. And Montana is getting back on their grind here as Heads trying to make it a 5th.
Oh my goodness.
Cogtray putting that one out. Vaco trying to finish it, but Yokel says 4 is enough. That's all you get.
It's absolutely all you get, and with no time left on the clock, we're just waiting, and there it is as the ball touches the ground after time expires, and the University of Montana, the Grizzlies, take game 2. My goodness, Volt, Volt, could you ask for any more? I mean, could you ask for better esports action at the collegiate level on a Monday night? I mean, this is exactly what we signed up for.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the highest rank gapping that we have right now in this division. It's going to be the 4 seed versus the 1 seed, and going 1-1 in the first 2 games. It's very close. Both games weren't super close, but right now the series is tied up, and it's back to almost an even best of 3.
Yeah,
best of 1. No, it's a best of 5. I'm
100%. No, you're absolutely right. A best of 5 series, so we have a lot of Rocket League to go. But one of the things, Volt, I'd like to touch on, it just seemed to me like in that second game right there that Montana turned on the pressure. It seemed like the ball was consistently in the other end, and every time Becker tried to counter, they just weren't able to get multiple people down the field. So, if you're Becker College right now, Volt, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I think you've already scored on this team. You've proven that you can score goals. I mean, you took game 1, so you know that you can do it. What does Becker need to do here in game 3 to maybe get another one on their side?
Consistency at this point, and bring the momentum back to your side. The momentum was there at the beginning of that game. It took probably 30 seconds before the first goal, if I remembered correctly.
Absolutely.
And then it goes the other way. Sorry, I'm telling the teams to join up here.
Okay. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, as he does that, it is time. The ball has been kicked off. The ball played into the Montana end, but here we go in game 3, 1-1 in the NECC semifinals of the Rocket League Challengers Division.
To finish off that conversation, Vaca Flocka clears it, and that might go in. No, Yokels is there. Oh, but he hesitates. Yeah, so at that point, if Becker's able to score the first, or even the first 2, the momentum goes back the other way. And so far, this has been a very momentum-based series. And that's what I'm looking for from them. Montana just needs to keep doing what Montana does best, continuing pressure.
Vaca Flocka maybe plays up a little bit too much on that ball. Heads is there, going to try to clear this over Perf Taco. Perf does rotate back, does play it across center, going to make it safe for now.
Yeah, we've got almost a minute played in the third game, sorry. And it's a 0 score line here, but Vaca Flocka out to Cogdre. Oh, what a pass. That touch was ridiculous.
Oh, it was a beautiful pass, but Perf Taco was able to get in the way. But there might be an opportunity right here with Heads. He has Vaca Flocka in the center. He sends it over, but no, Yokels is right there to shut that solo play down.
Yeah, luckily Yokels was there because Perf Taco's touch didn't help the team at all. He just basically ran his boost out and then brought it to the Montana team on a silver platter. Ooh. What a save from Yokels.
It did.
Two saves.
Yeah, absolutely. Heads going to send this one in, though. Heads says that was a good save, but not enough on this one, as this ball is put in from a teardrop from the sky and put in the back of the net. Montana takes a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Heads always there to put in the goals that come off the back wall, the corners. He's there all the time. He is going to be the goal scorer, but he's got to be set up by his team, and that's exactly what Vaca Flocka did there. Heads currently putting it towards the middle here. Mountain Drew just missing that, but Perf there to follow it up. Try to get a touch over Vaca Flocka, but Cogtray is there to follow it up, and nobody's back. Oh, Perf Taco's back.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is right on top of the action played. It's sent there 2 different save opportunities. They were able to get it out cleared. Yokels with an opportunity. Oh, he still have an opportunity here. Let's see. Vaca Flocka is back. Oh, and he does. Smart play to send it straight up.
Yeah, sending it straight up is a very risky play in that scenario because if anybody from Becker had boost, they could have read that so much quicker because at that point, Montana's on their heels. They just had a save. Vaca Flocka's not going to be the one to go up for it. He just had to run back. If Becker had boost, it could have been a scary position, but luckily it wasn't as we are halfway through game number 3. And the scoreline 1-0 in favor of Montana.
Oh, massive save as Mountain Drew got right there. Perf Taco on the attack. Does get cleared. Heads is going to have an opportunity right here, and he puts it in. The defender was there, and as you'll see in the replay, Perf Taco sends it, and it just, I mean, Heads is just right there, Volt. He is all over the field. Yokel's not able to put it in as it goes off of his roof into the top of the net.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was technically an own goal, but Yokels, did everything he could for the positioning that he had. The only thing other that he could do was not be heading towards boost and try to rotate far post, but unfortunately, that's just not what happened there, as Perf wasn't able to clear it like he wanted to. Yokel sending it across, Perf going up on the wall, slowly playing it, by trying to find an air dribble. Heads shuts that down. As Yokels moved up to challenge, Mountain Drew challenges at midfield. He was last back, and the Becker team are on their heels trying to get back to defense.
And again, you always talk about how crucial rotations is and not leaving opportunities. Ooh. Oh, but this one put on net, but it's saved. It heads with a redirect, and it's not there. My goodness. Perf Taco with an opportunity. Yokels with the follow, but a missed touch.
If you guys were watching the Becker-Carroll game last week, you know the crazy amount of saves and the level of craziness that Mountain Drew pulls off when he's saving a ball. That was another one there to add to the collection.
You're absolutely correct. Mountain Drew is the last one back. He plays this ball up. Perf Taco going to play it off of his own end, sent to the center. Dangerous spot right here, but it is cleared out.
Yeah, at this point, the Becker team, you're down by 2 with 1 minute remaining. It's not over. Don't just give up. Honestly, have somebody really just almost W key. Just keep ball chasing. Be annoying. And possibly you might get something to work out from there as Perf Taco demos one and beats another.
Oh my God!
Oh, Yokel puts it straight up. Perf Taco has to turn to challenge, but he puts it the wrong way. Mountain Drew and Yokels both push it. It goes center, a bump from Cogtray onto Yokels. And Yokels speeding down. Great play to slow down and read Head's touch.
Oh my goodness, massive goal opportunity right there. Somehow Montana able to stay alive. And I mean, you have to give credit to this Montana Grizzly defense right now because it's impeccable and unpenetrable right now.
Yeah, at this point, Heads with 3 saves. Vaca Flocka with 1 as the time winds down on a 2-goal win in favor of University of Montana. You mentioned the Montana defense. I do, once I can bring up the scoreboard, want to touch on the Becker defense. On the Becker side of things, Mountain Drew, 3 saves. The savior himself, Perf Taco with 1 and Yokels with 2. On the other side, Cogtray not having to save anything.
Right. I mean, look, one of the things that I think is so, I mean, look, there are more sides. As you can see, there are more saves there on that Becker side. But Volt, to me, that looks like Montana's just putting more pressure on this Becker team.
Oh, absolutely. Montana's 9 shots versus Becker's 4. It's a big difference there in the shot department. But at the same time, it could have been 9 shots, 9 goals. You know, you've got to be able to save as many shots as you can, and just because they got less shots on them doesn't mean that or more shots on them doesn't mean that the saves that they did make weren't impressive.
No, you're absolutely correct. And I mean, listen, my goodness, Becker College deserves to be here. They have earned the right to be here. They have played well. They played this season, a couple mistakes in the regular season, but they do what they're supposed to do. They win their first playoff game, but right now they're down 2-1, but they're still in this. Even at 2-1, you still have a chance to advance to the finals of the NECC. You're playing this number 1 seed. I look look for Becker to maybe send Perf Taco on a little bit of a run as we get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, who's going to the finals in the NECC Rocket League Challengers Division?
Absolutely. Montana currently playing one game away from the championship. On the other side, Becker playing for a chance to have a tie in this series.
Oh my goodness, sorry, I didn't mean to breathe so heavy. One, I'm a big boy, and two, Heads almost put a goal in the back of the net as it just was off right there, Volt.
Oh yeah, it was very close. I definitely thought you had something to say, so I was gonna let you say it while the excitement was high. Oh, what a touch around. Cogtrey with the demo. Mountain Drew plays it perfectly, but he's air dribbling for no reason. Keep it on the ground, control it. Wait for your teammates to get in position. There's no need to jump. The other team can read you so well at that point.
Opportunity.
Vaca misses it. Cogtrey there. Oh, but Mountain Drew pushes to the tie.
My goodness, and the ball going to be played back. Yokels will be back. That was a massive opportunity. And Volt, again, forgive me if I'm wrong, but if you're in this situation, you can't miss those open goals because Cogtrey, it's not an open goal, but he says, I don't care that Mountain Drew is right there. I like Pepsi anyway. Get out of the way. My goodness, what a goal for Montana as it's 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't be missing those goals, but at the same time, you got to realize that open nets misses happen all the time, especially if you're me. So you just got to kind of brush it off and get back on that grind here, as it's going to be a 1-goal lead for Montana with just a minute and a half almost gone. And forgive me if I'm wrong, doesn't Pepsi make Mountain Dew?
They do, but hey, look, just because you have
Mountain Drew.
They don't make Mountain Drew. He was born and bred, and oh my goodness, go ahead, Volt. That was unreal. Break this replay down.
Heads flying high, getting two defenders to go for it. Cogtrey finding the angle, knowing nobody's back, putting it in middle of net, being confident with it. The swagger on the shot.
My goodness, folks, 2-goal advantage, and right now we are 3 minutes and 20 seconds away from Montana being in the first ever finals of the Challengers Division. Becker College on their heels. They have an opportunity here. Let's see what happens.
Opportunity goes on the wall, and Cogtrey sends it out, but Mountain Drew is there to contest. Unfortunately, goes the opposite way. Yokels and Perf both turn upfield a little bit, but neither of them commit to it too hard. Vaca Flocka there, and it goes in, and that's going to be a 3-goal deficit. Going to be a lot of work here for Becker if they do want to come back. They've got 3 minutes and 3 goals to work on.
I mean, what a goal. And Volt, listen, we've seen a lot of Rocket League together. I've been very blessed to call some games with you. But right now, this Montana team, the touches that they are getting, the passes, and the things that they are doing as a team, I mean, it's extremely impressive. Some of the best passing we've seen all year.
Oh, absolutely. Montana as a team, they're fantastic. But then at the same time, on the other side, Becker has Perf Taco, who's mechanically almost better than anybody on this team. He is a mechanical god. Yokels, always right place, right time, and Mountain Drew is this saving king. If they can work together, they could definitely make 3 goals happen in less than 30 seconds. But they've got to bring that teamwork together, get that communication going, and get that pressure back the other way as Perf brings it up. Slow plays it, makes Cogtrey put it straight down. Mountain Drew's up to challenge. Goes towards the net. Out. Yokels is the one to finish that one.
And like you said, a beautiful, beautiful slow play. We see Mountain Drew send it down low. And again, it looked like Cogtrey was going to send that out, but not able to get there. And Yokels puts it in, says happy holidays as he does it. And right now, 2-goal advantage, 2 minutes. Like you say, it only takes 3 seconds. This is not over for Becker College.
Oh, absolutely. I do want to mention that Perf Taco starts that play, decides not to touch it, making Cogtrey get an awkward touch. Oh. And then it goes to Mountain Drew.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then it went over to Mountain Drew, who just put it off the corner, but it was too far for Montana to get to. Heads passing to Vaca Flocka in that situation. And then Yokels there to finish it off. Mountain Drew just missing that, but another shot to the corner for Perf Taco. Yokels is going to be the one to follow. But
let's see Heads. Yeah, absolutely. Heads going to take this into the corner. Montana looking to extend their lead. Sends it back to the center. Shot on goal. And it's massive for Cogtray. It's massive. And my goodness, Montana is sealing a date in the NECC Finals. Volt, what a pass and what a goal.
Yeah, Cogtray's touches are absolutely insane right now. He is definitely feeling himself and how he's playing, and it's sends it far. Oh, Cogtray able to get back.
Becker College needing to do something, and it has to happen right now. Cogtray plays this ball in. Head's going to send it on goal, and that is going to almost put the nail. If not the nail, he lined it up and got the hammer out of the bag, and this game is almost basically out of reach for Montana.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Montana, if they wanted to just put all three players in net and just jump at the ball, it's almost impossible for Becker to come back unless they work together as a team. Get bumped, get great passes. As Mountain Drew comes out from Perf Taco.
Just like you said, miracles do happen. Miracles happen, Volt. My goodness, could we see one of the biggest comebacks in history? And that, it takes one, 3 more to go.
You should see my rank games. The other team comes back almost every time.
Well, we are not. That's why we are casting and not playing. Ladies and gentlemen, ball sent into the corner. Cogtray going to send it off the top backboard. Let's see here. No, Vaca Flocka, top right. Oh, are you kidding me? That is the hammer. That is the nail. And its name is Vaca Flocka. My goodness, Montana will be going to the NECC Finals. No matter what you say, Volt.
They're not going quite yet. The fat lady hasn't sang. I don't give up on any team here. You know this. You've been casting with me for
I know.
9 weeks now.
I know
weeks?
you know.
I don't give up. Perf Taco, gets bumped out of the way. Yokels needs to be there quicker than that. Mountain Drew with the backflip in midfield. Way out of position, but he's able to get a touch on that. Yokels decides not to touch that one. Turn around, try to send it out. Oh, heads. That would have been insane.
Let's see here. And head. Oh, mistouch there by both. Did get the bump mid-air, though. Cogtray going to try to play this over Mountain Drew. Played to the center, Vaca Flocka. And I know, look, I've done this with you enough. I've done this with you enough, but my goodness, it looks like one half of the bracket in the NECC Finals is going to be wearing maroon for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, at this point, if the 3-second rule applied and they somehow scored consecutive 3-second goals, they'd need over 15 seconds. But at this point, it is a nail in the coffin. GG's to both teams. Becker came out and played fantastic, especially at the start. Heads saying, you know what, I want a little bit more of screen time. Let me put this one in. GG's to both teams as we're winding down here.
GG's indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, just the kickoff to seal this thing up. And again, if you're Montana, the #1 seed, ladies and gentlemen, the Montana Grizzlies will go to the Challengers Division Finals of the NECC Playoffs. We are going to find out who the champion is. And right now, I don't know about you, Voltage, but it looks like the Challengers Division, if you're going to want to win it, it goes through Big Sky Country, as Montana looks very dominant right now.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if that was ever a question. You say dominant right now. They've been dominant for 10 weeks. They're the only undefeated team in this league. So currently sitting at 7-0, 1 week bye, correct?
I believe we have 8 on our record, so 8-0, 7-0. I don't care, but that's a lot of O's. And call them Cheerios. Get your morning breakfast in because, my goodness, they come to work. My gosh.
Yeah, absolutely. Great plays from everybody on that team. But I do want to say, Becker, fantastically played at the same time. Very few teams have taken a game off of Montana and in the whole league so far. But they were able to take one off at the beginning of this game, so very impressive.
Well, you're absolutely correct. And ladies and gentlemen, Becker College has been unbelievable here and an unbelievable supporter of us here at the NECC. They have played multiple titles, and we are extremely grateful for them. And we're very excited to see them next spring. And Volt, the night is just getting started. But if this game right here is any indication of what we're going to see tonight, people better put their seatbelts on because it is going to be a crazy night of action.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be nonstop as we go into the second game from the Challenger Series. I believe this is going to be Howard Community College going up against the CSU Dominguez Hills team, and it's going to be an exciting one there. I do want to point out that I saw a lot of people from the Montana Valorant team that I've also cast a few times. Beefy the Boy, to be specific, the Omen player, hanging out in chat supporting his teammates
I
that are
love it.
playing Rocket League.
Yep, absolutely. You gotta love our Twitch chat. Twitch chat, we love you guys. So grateful to everyone in the Twitch chat watching, and of course, our friends at ESTV now tuning in. We appreciate you guys as checking us out. Man, we are having a fantastic night. We are not gonna take too much time, as ladies and gentlemen, Volt, you're not done, my friend. You've got some more action coming your way.
Yeah, I do have the next couple games here. Uh, any other words from you on this one?
On this one, man, I just have to say a big congratulations for me. If you're going to be one of the teams, and we're going to find out who's going to play Montana in this next game. And listen, if you're one of these teams, whether it's California State Dominguez Hills or the number 2 seed in the Howard Community College Dragons, if you're going to play Montana, you have got to do something to slow down this attack. I mean, right now Montana looks absolutely in the driver's seat, no pun intended, for this NECC championship.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they are ferocious when it comes to the offense. If you let them have time and space with the ball, they're going to punish. So you got to be playing close, got to be playing slightly aggressive. You be playing aggressive on defense. You just want to have somebody at the ball as often as you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere as we are T minus about 15 minutes from that next match. You don't want to go anywhere. And do us a favor, follow us on social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates, all sorts of announcements, and giveaways. If you want to win yourself a beautiful set of these HyperX headphones, we have a giveaway going on our Twitter that you want to go check out right now at NECC Games. But if you're a Montana Grizzly fan or you just here because you love esports action, stick around as we are about to see the Howard Community College Dragons face off against the California State University Dominguez Hill Toros, and that for the other spot in the finals to face these Grizzlies. I tell you what, we will be right back on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Thank you to our partners. Thank you to my man, Voltage Plays. I will see you guys at the pregame for the next game. And until then, thank you for watching. And we are just getting started with esports action. Welcome to the NECC. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NECC. I am your host, Jaron Bell, and man, what a match we just saw. But I do want to take just a second as because to my far, which direction is that? Let's see, my far left, the right on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, that handsome devil over there is Oliver Bass. Oliver, welcome to the stream today.
Thank you very much, my man. I'm very, very happy to be here, Jaron, especially after the incredible last match you guys just had.
Oh, it was wonderful. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by the one and only Voltage Plays, AJ himself. We saw him in that last game. And AJ, let's break it down just a little bit because we saw a Montana team come in here that was unbelievable. And AJ, before we do that, it looks like I might have correct. I do. Heads, do I have you there?
You do. I'm here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main man himself from Montana University. First of all, Heads, congratulations on a massive, massive victory.
Thank you.
Well, and listen, my first question is going to be pretty simple. What does it feel like to be ready to go into the finals here? I mean, you're in the finals. You're playing for the ship, man. This is what you work for all year. I mean, what are you feeling right now, and how's the energy with your team?
I mean, it was fun. We were all really excited. It was a good game. They came out pretty quick, and once we kind of settled down and got into it, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we're excited for Saturday. It should be a good time.
Oh, it's going to be a massive, massive time. I'd like to refer to my main man, AJ, Voltage Plays. Voltage, I know that we saw an amazing matchup right there. And I heard you say Heads name a lot. So I wanted to kind of turn the floor over to you because I'm sure you have something for Heads.
Yeah, Becker came out rolling quickly. Is there something that you guys specifically did to turn that momentum around going into the second game?
Not necessarily. I mean, we came out really slow. We knew we just had to play faster. So once we kind of just settled down, we kind of got into a rhythm and started playing really well. So I think it was just a lot of, we got finals and we haven't been practicing as much. So it was just good to get settled down. And it's also been a while since we played in a competitive game. So I think it was just relaxing and playing fast, and it started working out.
Absolutely. And it worked out perfectly. I mean, with you saying that now with the finals, I'd like to remind everybody, remember, these are student athletes. They have another life that they have to live. They have finals, they have classes, they have to do laundry, which is difficult for college students. I mean, that's tough. But look, I'd like to turn it over. Oliver, you were watching behind the scenes in this match, and it was unbelievable action. What do you have for our main man, the star of the day, in Heads?
Well, Heads, I mean, my only real question is just looking forward. You guys have got a team coming up against you that is either going to be a team that has only lost once this season and is going to be their only loss was against you guys, or it's going to be a team that upsets the one-loss team and comes to the final with a lot of momentum. You guys have got two big teams coming up against you. Of the two squads that you've got here, is there really a preference for you guys? Would you rather see Howard again and get the rematch from the top two teams, or are you guys a little bit rooting for CSU DH here to try and upset?
I don't think we're rooting for anyone. We're gonna play whoever wins. Whoever wins is gonna deserve to be in the championship game. So we're not gonna overlook anyone. We'll just come in, play our game, and see how it goes.
I tell you what, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the perfect answer. Calm, cool, collected. And I can tell you right now that Heads and the rest of his team are on a mission. And it's safe to say, I think you know and you believe that you're going to be taking that championship home to Big Sky Country over there in Montana, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, again, a big thank you, Heads. Thank you for being here. We will let you get back to your team. And again, congratulations, and we will see you on Saturday in the finals.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you next week.
See you, buddy. Again, hey, guys, Oliver, I'll start with you. I'll tell you what right now. The thing I like about that conversation right there with Heads is how about the fact that he was so calm, so cool. You could just hear it in his voice. He was basically like, yeah, I know we're the best. I know, I get it. Like, I just know. So you have to think moving forward, that Montana team is going to be a problem for whoever comes up against them.
Oh yeah, I mean they've been a problem this entire season though. And I mean problem is almost an understatement. They have 3-0'd more teams than anyone else I've seen so far. They've continued to play as a great unit, not taking a single loss so far. I mean, really, to either squad that comes up against them, I wish you good luck.
Uh, I mean, and I love that that was his answer. It was whoever team wins is going to deserve to be there. We're not going to overlook anybody. And AJ, I mean, listen, Volt, that's a lot of confidence, and that makes them a calm, confident team is a scary team, especially when they play like Montana.
Yeah, right there, Heads was definitely Captain Calm, Cool, and Collected, or what I'm going to call him from now on, Quad C. And so at that point, like, they've beaten everybody, and very handily. At this point, they are very confident that there's no chance they're losing this.
100%. And with the track record that they have, it's safe to say that that is. But guys, listen, you guys are going to be on the call. But right now, it's not time to worry about that. We know that Montana is going to be in the finals of the Challengers Division. But we need to find out who their opponent's going to be, and that is time where we start to look forward and find out who that is. I tell you what, the Howard Community College Dragons come in here as the 2 seed. Again, their only loss this season was against that Montana team, facing off against a CSUDH team in the Toros that had a couple struggles, but still looked very good, and they can make a massive, massive game or victory here if they're able to upset Howard. I mean, Bass, I'll start with you as you've seen both these teams this year. I mean, what are you expecting to see out of this match? Because it looks like this is going to get intense and in a hurry.
I mean, I think that this is going to be firepower from both sides. I got a little bit of a lucky inside scoop before this. Was able to play a couple matches with Logs and Trees earlier today, and he's one of the players for Howard here. He said that they've been waiting for this match for a while because their goal for this season is they want a rematch against Montana. They are still angry about the first loss they took, and they want a second shot at this in the finals.
Oh, wow. And again, you have to love that motivation. AJ, I go to you. What does that for this CSUDH team, or excuse me, for this Howard team? They're going up against a CSUDH team. Howard knows that they want to be in the finals, but right now, as the underdog, if you're in that same position, if you're the Toros, what are you looking to do in this match?
Well, I'm really looking to shut down any momentum that HCC gets, because that's a team that plays off momentum. If they're not playing well, I know that they'll get frustrated and not play as together as they would be if they were on a roll. So at that point, I'm looking to get early momentum. I'm looking to demo a couple key times, really get them off their game, and I think that's a key to victory right there for CSUDH. On the other side of things, for HCC, they really need to play together. That's their strength. When they are rotating and playing together, I think that they can give Montana for a good run for their money at that point.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more, for sure. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to remind you, I know that there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things happening here at the NECC. You know, we throw a lot of esports action right at you guys, but we do want to remind you that tomorrow, the 17th, as there will be 2 massive Valorant matches that you are going to want to check out. Myself and I will be there for the pregame show. Voltage Plays, our director of esports, Caleb Glooby. There's a lot more action as we go through the week. I mean, you need to follow us on social media. The only reason I sound like I'm stressing that is because, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much to keep up with for your school, for your teams, or just if you're a fan of collegiate esports action. And you can do that at NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates. And I tell you what, I think we're pretty close. But let me get yes, we're waiting on a couple teams, but let me get your final thoughts here. Not on the first game, but the game that we're moving into. AJ, you've said momentum is going to come into this game in this situation, and it's going to be a determining factor. What can you do? I'd love to hear your side of Howard and your side of CSUDH. What do you think each team needs to do here?
I mean, as the underdogs in this situation, CSUDH needs to come out firing quickly. They are a team that is a big team that will consistently 3-0 or get 0-3. So the sweeps happen a lot when they're around. So at that point, they need to come out firing and firing fast. On the other sides of things, the rotation is going to be very important, like I said. But in the back of HGC's mind, they've got to be thinking that This team just swept an Alabama team that I went to a very sweaty game 5 overtime with.
Mm.
They've got to be thinking about, like, why was that seemingly so easy for them when we had to work so hard?
Oh, I mean, that is a beautiful, beautiful point. A beautiful point from a beautiful man. Yes, sir. That a boy. Listen, Bass, I'm going to come to you, Oliver. Listen, we've seen these teams. You've already touched on that, but what I'd like to do is if I held you to the fire and I made you make a call, how do you think this game's going to break down? And we're not going to pick sides here, but I need a small prediction from you on what you're going to see this playing out.
All right, for a small prediction, I will have to lean in favor of the number 2 seed. Like I said, Howard Community College have been on a tear pretty much the entire season. Aside from their one loss, they have done great against every other team here, including the team they're about to face here. Last time CSUDH and Howard faced off against each other, it was a 3-0 sweep to Howard. So Howard, they've got the experience here. They've got the fire behind them, and they want to try and get back to the finals here for another shot at this. Like I said, on their side, they're just ready to go.
I mean, and listen, I can tell by the way when you made your prediction, I could see the wince on AJ's face. AJ, the same question goes to you, and it looks like you might have a different opinion on this game.
Yeah, I've got a lot of insight with HCC, and I do think that they could win this. But I do want to bring up a point that last time they matched up was September 25th. It was like the first week of the season. Both teams have changed. CSUDH is a force to be reckoned with. And I really think that if they're able to get off to a hot start, they are able to win. In the end, I do agree with you that HCC is going to win this. But at the same time, it's not as much of a blowaway as one might think.
Not at all.
No, absolutely. And I think that I just love the way that you guys both put that. For me, I've seen both of these teams on stream, and in this challengers division, we have consistently said, I know that each one of us has gone blue in the face saying the word momentum. It's either we've seen so many 3-0s, we've seen so many 0-3s, but then it seems like when we don't expect it, we have games that go to 5 games in overtime. So for me, I'm going to call it right now. I do think that the Howard Community College Dragons win this match, but I tell you right now, I don't think there's any way we don't see. I think we're going to see a 5th game here. I think we're going to see a 5th here. AJ, anything?
I don't think so. We may get a 4th, but I think it's going to be a sweep with how CSUDH plays. It's either win all 3 or lose all 3 almost every week. So, I mean, at that point, I really don't see it going to game 5 just based on most of their records.
Oliver, how about you? How many games does it take?
I'm thinking, in my opinion, I think we're going to see a similar thing to what we saw in the last game. I think this one goes to 4. We give CSUDH a little bit of momentum. They've been the team that's had a game last week, or on Friday, I should say, not even last week, just a couple of days ago. They had a very competitive match against their last opponents. They're coming into this one with a little bit of momentum on their side. It could be the same thing we just saw with Becker and Montana, where they get the first game, a little bit of momentum on their side, and then all of a sudden, Howard just turns up the volume to 11. They just get ready. They realize what's going on, and they go, we're not letting this happen, and just run it. So 4 games, in my opinion. I think the first one goes to CSUDH.
Oh, okay. Wow. So an early start. You heard it there first. Again, we don't like to say place our bets here at Collegiate Esports, but you heard it from Oliver himself. He says that the Toros will take game 1. I know there's some Dragon fans out there in the Twitch chat that will disagree, but we are very close. I believe my producer will tell me in my ear, I think we're just waiting on a couple kids from CSUDH, and we're very close, correct? Okay, perfect. We are waiting on the team. It looks like Howard Community College is very close to being ready, but we will see very soon. And guys, we are right around the corner from this thing playing out. But one of the things I'd love to touch on, we've seen teams like Kansas Westland and other teams that have been upset in these playoffs. And as I look at the playoff bracket now for both teams, I mean, AJ, what can you say about just the Rocket League action in both divisions here at the NECC so far?
I don't know if you guys were here for Friday, those watching on Twitch and on ESTV. I'm just here for playoffs now. It's like it is the Christmas of the NECC Rocket League. It is what you're waiting for. How exciting Friday night was. I'm just a rush.
Absolutely. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is actually, if you see in my background, that's why I put that Christmas tree up, because it's like being a kid on Christmas every time you get to see this action. Oliver, I know that you've had a good time as well. What can you say about the NECC? I mean, we've had an unbelievable regular season. And not only, I always say this is what you get, what you paid for, but all this esports action is free. And my goodness.
Oh yeah, it's more than just free. It's free and it's going to keep getting better. If you guys thought that last week was close and that everything was high-flying action, just remember the number 1 and 2 seeds for both divisions are just now playing today. All of these matches are going to get even more incredible. They're going to have even more action in them. And for how close all of these are have been so far, you better tune in this weekend for the finals for both of these divisions, because it's going to be tense. Every team here has come with not only the will to win, but a real chance at this final spot here. Every squad that we've got in these divisions is ready to play.
Absolutely correct, and I could not have said it better myself. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to our proud partners. We are going to let, I believe AJ will let the teams know that are all in that we are ready to get started. And as we get closer to kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, I will send you that way. But before we do that, we want to say thank you to our partners, our friends at Helix Esports for all they do, our friends at Really, and of course, HyperX, some of the best gear in gaming. Now comes to the NECC. You see all three. You're looking at the screen. You see all of these handsome men. Yes, that's us. And if we turn our heads, you can see the fact that all those X's are on the side of our heads. HyperX, we are so grateful for them supporting the playoffs here at the NECC and supporting us as casters. Ladies and gentlemen, the teams are getting ready. They are very, very close. Thank you for watching on ESTV. ESTV, the proud linear TV partner of the NECC. The teams are ready. We are waiting on one more player. We are almost there. And it looks like we do have them. Ladies and gentlemen, Oliver Bass on the call with Voltage Plays. I'm your host, Jaron Bell. Let's get into it.
And we appreciate it, Jaron. Thank you very much for the perfect intro. Although I think your intro might have just been one-upped by Apollo, who's got a banger of a shot off the backboard to start.
What? How? It's Friday night all over again. I'm losing my ability to speak already as Apollo puts it off the backboard, finds the read to beat Logs and Trees at the top corner. Noble finding the back of the net himself, and with 11 seconds gone, that's going to be 2 goals, 1-1. High flying, quick action, and momentum is already being battled for.
11 seconds in and we've already got 2 goals. I feel like we knew this was going to be high-flying action. I didn't expect it to be this high-scoring of a game. If we continue this trend right now, we're ending at over 10 apiece, but I assume it's going to slow down here, but Alster going to do a good job of trying to break this defense down. Tosses it back out to Apollo and Bear on the back half. Right now, we're starting to see some really good transitions here at CSUDH. I mean, I mentioned that I thought they were going to take game 1 here, but man, they've come prepared. Oh, speaking of which,
Apollo has done homework, and he's done his summer reading after that touch.
My word, that's just a beautiful touch back into the middle. Apollo doing a good job of reading these miscommunications on the backboard. He's going to be the one to watch, it seems, right now. Howard down 2-1 right now. We know they were the favorite going into this. The big question is for CSUDH is, can they buckle down their defense now? Obviously, their offense is up to par, but they let the last one in without anyone in net. And now here you see them scramble on their own half to try and just keep it out. Neuro going to take this to the middle. Bit of a fake out. Logs and Trees has got a shot, but it's blocked. Again, still, defense looking shaky here for CSUDH, though.
Nuble puts it right in front of their own net. They've got to get it out. A double commit from Nuble and Neuropulse as it goes around both players there. Both of them stuck in the corner after they go for that and then try to double commit again.
This is getting a little bit too chaotic now. The issue becoming here, I mentioned that the defense for everybody off of CSUDH need to hold up. So does it need to hold up for Howard. Howard not really figuring out what they want to do in front of the box, whether it's the almost own goal or the follow-up touch afterwards. Right now, they're having a little bit of difficulty as they try to clear it out of their own half confidently. 3.5 minutes remain or over that. But if they let in another one, this could be disastrous. It's going to go the other way, though. Neuropulse going to bring this within 1.
And a great center there from Newble, who sent it out to Neuropulse. And it was a great shot there.
That it was. It was a nice shot, good follow-up. It was a great transition overall. Just a really clean play out of Howard here. The question is can they keep this up? Like we said, I think the offenses here are both ready to play. It's the defenses that we have concerns about right now.
Oh, absolutely. Concerns are there, but Newble there to push it off to the side. Has 0 boost to work with, but Logs and Trees still want to follow it up and continue on that right wall. Almost bounces over Ganbear there. And as the CSUDH team brings it the other way, Alistair floater going to hit crossbar. Is anybody going to be able to follow that? And Apollo with his 3rd goal of the game, and just HGC's defense falling apart as 2 of the 3 players missed that in the air.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but truly, I mean, this is what we were warning them about. If they continue to flop around in front of their net like that, they're really going to run into issues. Howard right now, they need to buckle this one down. As much as I'd love my prediction to be correct here, I'd also like to see a competitive Rocket League game between 2 teams at their best performance. And while CSUDH, have come here to play as they just barely miss a shot. Apollo puts us in the middle. Ganbear's got the follow-up, though. And man, CSUDH have come here to play. Howard, they're going to have to try and figure this out.
This is the openest net I've ever seen, I think, in my life. Nobody was there even after the goal was scored. Yeah, they're falling apart at this point. We've got 3 minutes left to play, and Alistair's trying to make it a 6-2 lead. Apollo puts one on net, but Neuropulse is going to shut that down, but leaving it floating. Newble having to come out of his own net to get a quick save on that one. But the CSUDH pressure is continuing, and this is how they beat Alabama. Unrelenting force as Logsentry gets a great touch on that to continue it moving across the goal. Neuropulse has no boost and decides to jump at that one, leaving him awkwardly there.
This is just ridiculous. Right now, we're starting to see demos come out every which way for CSUDH here. That's not a great touch out to the middle, but Logs and Trees cannot punish. But regardless of those touches right now, it still seems like everyone off of CSUDH is figuring out how to put everyone on Howard just on their back heel. They don't feel comfortable when they're making these touches. There's a good demo from Logs and Trees to try and shake up the rotations, but these demos are not only coming into play right now, they're pretty much the #1 reason that these rotations are getting thrown off. Last goal, open net because of a demo. Every single rotation from here on out has basically been awkward because of that. CSUDH, like you said, if they can just take the last strategy they had when they won in their previous game and apply it here, as Logs and Trees barely makes a save from Alistair, this is the winning strategy right now. You wanted a shot at the upset here. Run with what you got. You guys have a 3-goal lead, and with the amount of time left, you can definitely translate this into the next one.
Logs and Trees almost getting a great goal there, but Alistair pushes it off his own backboard as Neuropulse misses it, overcommits. All 3 players were in the other net. Luckily, it doesn't come back to haunt them at that point as Logs and Trees puts it down and nobody there to follow up. The rotation isn't there. We know Neuropulse is a little hesitant. Newble has to step up in that situation and make a decision.
I mean, I don't even know what to say at this point. It just seems like both of these teams are getting so lucky with a lot of these touches. I know it's not luck, it's exact coordination, but that last save that barely came out for CSUDH, my word, if it had been a half a second longer, they were getting scored on. Speaking of which, not getting scored on there, another great save. I mean, listen, I said the offense had come to play here for CSUDH. They're now proving the defense has come just as much. It's 4 saves to them, 5 saves now, or 5 saves, excuse me, to the other side of Howard. It's somehow Howard just have not had the same amount of shots. CSUDH at 10 right now. Both halves of the field, really. I mean, this is Howard's game to lose, and it really does seem like they're going to.
Yeah, Logs and Trees trying to bring it back the other way, but Neuropulse not able to hold on to it. Had a decent scoring chance. Back out, go the other way for CSUDH.
This one now in the middle, but this is all too late as the clock ticks down here. We might actually get even one more goal here for CSUDH. No, we will not. But regardless of that, they are going to take game one. And I mean, listen, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but this is about what I expected. CSUDH came out here with firepower that Howard just were straight up not expecting. They took that win pretty handily, and the question now becomes is, does Howard have the right response here? Because if it goes how I think it's going to go, they're winning the next three. But if it doesn't, CSUDH is running away with this one.
Yeah, knowing how CSUDH operates on momentum, it's going to be very tough at this point. It's almost impossible. As my game is now frozen, I will have to reload. But at that point, what do you think Howard Community College needs to do to bring this back on top? Because they are the number 2 seed.
I think Howard just needs to play to their strength. We've seen Howard so many times this season play like not only an unbelievable team, but a dominant team. They would just take teams and force them into a 3-0, force them into scenarios where they just weren't comfortable. Here in this game now, it just looks like they're the ones that are uncomfortable. They can't quite figure out how to transition out of their own defense, and I think a lot of that has to do with they're just not communicating correctly. If they want someone on defense to get it out, rely on that person fully, pop it out of their own half, and then just keep going with it. Because right now as it stands, all of you trying to go for a touch on the final third just creates chaos. There's no coordination there. There's nothing you can run with it once you're out of your own half. So as it stands right now, HCC, they've got a shot here, but CSUDH, if they run with the momentum of the last match, I mean, it could be up in the air. I don't know if they can stop that.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to stop as we start looking towards game number 2. Honestly, CSUDH, keep doing what you're doing. Howard, figure out how to stop what they're doing. I don't even know at this point, because that was such a strong offensive performance that I personally haven't seen out of CSUDH. I haven't casted one of their games in probably 3 or 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it really is one of these things where it's like a lot of the time when we get up here and we're talking about what can a team do to improve, a lot of the answers are usually just get cleaner Rocket League, tighten up on X, Y, and Z. There is no tighten up right here for Howard. They need to tighten up their defense, obviously, but to the same degree, CSUDH did not look like a team that had a lot of faults in them. If CSUDH play as strong as they did in the first match, there's a good shot they take the second one as well.
Yeah, that momentum should be there going into the beginning of this one, but momentum changes so quickly. It could be going back the other way before you know it, as we're going to let the teams know that they can join when they are ready. Yeah, at this point, I've talked about this before, because the last 2 weeks, back-to-back, we did cast for Howard, Newble, Neuropulse, and Logs and Trees. Neuropulse is the one who's going to be back and allow the other 2 players to move up, and that can't happen anymore. He's got to be able to go up when it's his turn on the rotation. As game number 2 does get started, we got 5 more minutes on the clock here. And it's going to be a hard-fought battle once again. Noble on the wall, just missing. Gambarrett putting it off to the side. And Gambear, BT, thank you. It's all caps when it's their name. I'm like, that's not right. Apollo with the demo on Neuropulse here as Logs and Trees tries to cut the rotation. Nobody was back.
It still seems a little bit awkward. I don't know if this is intentional. You see Howard got the one player going up for that. Logs and Trees tries to make a solo play. Immediately as he gets down, you then see the double commit. Howard, they just look frazzled right now. They're not quite sure how they want to play this offense, and as a result, the rotations are breaking down drastically. I mean, you mentioned it earlier. It seems like they need to tighten up rotations if they want any shot at a good opportunity on offense, and right now they just need to get an opportunity. They keep getting stuff at the line here and can't really build a full offense.
Yeah, at this point, it's game number 2. The momentum has carried over. I was kind of curious if it would. Logs and Trees gets beat in the corner, up to Neuropulse, who's able to send it back out. But the onslaught continues on from CSUDH, where Neuropulse beats one to the outside, not able to meet him at the corner, and Newble last back. And I see Logs and Trees frantically trying to get to net as Alistair goes up with Sartor and just hits the crossbar.
Oh my word, what a shot that would have been. You know that Logs in Trees would have been regretting that the rest of the day if he had let that one go in. Thankfully, it does not. 3.5 minutes we've got left, and we should see a competitive match because, I mean, the momentum hasn't been sucked out quite yet out of Howard. Oh, wait a minute, can they try and get some more? But no, it just doesn't seem like they've got the momentum on their side. For right now, oh, wait a minute. Okay, no, not spoke too soon. I was going to say, for right now, CSUDH look like they're in control. Howard finally getting a couple of shots there. None of them all that threatening, and I mean, that's just kind of why we say they're in control. They just don't seem to have any sort of, I don't know, I guess control's the right word. They don't have control over the offense. They really don't.
And they don't have possession of anything. Their rotation. Like, they need to rotate, let the next person play and touch. That's why it's there. So you can continue possession. As the triple commit comes out once again after the ball hits the floating in the air, Alistair bringing it to the wall and finds a double touch. I gotta say, Alistair has the swagger of a champion at this point. After the attempt from high on the wall earlier, and then reading this one and beating all of Howard to it, it's going to be important to shut him down at this point.
It's just crazy how well they're playing right now. A big thing to note is that pretty much every week when we come out here, almost every single series, we try to find a player that's a highlight, the person who's really taking the team and putting them on their back. The crazy, oh, my word, we'll mention it. I'll go back to this point in a second. For right now, let's watch as Newballs breaks down the entire defense of CSUDH. Around one, around another, and in it goes. That's a great goal.
Yeah, Newball was like, okay, Bass, what are you saying? on my back? Okay.
I guess he's the one to put it on his back, but, I mean, going back to what I was going to say earlier, shot not quite going in. Newball's got the follow-up, but he can't get it in. I mean, this is what I was going to mention, is that if you usually have a player that puts the team on their back, that's the person you highlight for the day. The crazy thing here for CSUDH is it looks like this is switching from game to game. Apollo last game had the whole game in control. Alistair here now looks like the player in control. The question is now does Newball become the player in control on the Howard side? Because they're not even down a goal anymore here. They're at a tied scenario, and Newball's starting to pop off.
Yeah, Newball is the one that's generally going to be popping off, but Logs and Trees is that consistent one, as you know. Newball gets beat on the wall, decides to follow it, putting it out towards the middle, not getting a touch on it, followed quickly by Logs and Trees, but missed touch as Ganbear into the corner, finds Neuropulse, who pushes it back out. Alistair gets beat, and it's Neuropulse versus 2 in the corner. Logs and Trees there to follow it up and cut it in. And there is the second goal for HCC in game number 2.
See, we mentioned that the momentum was going to carry over into this game. The question was how long was that momentum going to carry? Because it seems like the minute that a goal went in for Howard, all of that momentum just kind of dropped out. Now it seems like Howard's starting to get in control. More specifically, Newball is starting to pick it up and just put the team where they need to be. The question is can they keep this going? Rotation's still a bit of an issue. And if you let one more goal come in here for CSUDH, if you let this go in, that's the end of the momentum, but they will not somehow. Howard survived the onslaught. CSUDH got one more shot at this, but they should really be not even down. They should be tied right now.
Logs and Trees is playing Minecraft because that man's building a wall in front of the net. What was that?
Okay, there it is. There's the goal you and I were waiting for. I mean, this was somewhat inevitable. CSUDH were knocking on the door here, just asking to be let in, and with the amount of time Newball gave them to set this up here, I mean, that 50 was all but inevitable. Alistair doing a good job of tying this up. We got 40 seconds left. Voltage, I think we're going to overtime.
We could be going to overtime. 40 seconds is a lot of time in a Rocket League game. At this point, we are, it took 11 seconds for the first 2 goals to be scored the first game.
I mean, it's just crazy how back and forth this series has gone here. We obviously expected this to be somewhat close, but we definitely had Howard as the favorites here. I don't know if I can really call them the heavy favorites anymore. It really does seem like CSUDH came out here to play, and if they win this match, I mean, not only is momentum on their side, they're eyeing up a 3-0 sweep. Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed it a little bit ago. Newball got 2 demos back-to-back consecutively as Logs and Trees pops it up, and Nooble almost able to redirect it up. I think Logs and Trees was trying to find the follow there.
This is just ridiculous right now. Honestly, this one could go either way. The crazy thing is one of these teams needs this a lot more desperately than the other. We've said it before and we'll say it again. CSUDH are a team that runs off of momentum. If they win this one, they give themselves a shot at the series. Meanwhile, if Howard loses this one, while it's not necessarily over for them, I think that they've got the momentum to try and bring this one back. They've obviously put out a better showing here, and if they show the best possible side of them here in the third game, they should still be able to keep themselves in the series. So right now, CSUDH, you gotta try and win this one. Your momentum is so key in this series. And with an open net, oh no, Apollo can't quite get to that. Neuropulse knew he had the time. And man, I mean, that was probably the best opportunity so far for CSUDH. Howard are just on an offensive tear right now.
Yeah, Neuropulse isn't the one to normally go for demos, but when he does, they're important. Logs and Trees trying to put it on net. Alistair able to get around it, almost dunked, not able to reach it though, as Gambear leads CSUDH to the other side. But never mind, Neuropulse shuts it down. A demo comes out from Logs and Trees and net. It's going to be a 3v2 situation just for a moment. Alistair up in the air, misplaying that right now. Nooble there, shot on net. Get up. And with a minute and 30 seconds into overtime in game number 2, the momentum is definitely in the Howard Community College Dragons side. Apollo last back, a flick, up corner, Apollo shuts that down. Oh my word. Oh, shot, Logs and Trees.
Oh my gosh. And this is why I say this is the game that CSUDH need to win. This is what happens when you let Howard get to their full potential. CSUDH was in their own half for pretty much the first minute and a half of this overtime. If you have to play a full 5 minutes of this, that's where those shots inevitably start to drop. Eventually, Howard gets the opportunity. CSUDH, you need to win this right now. Maybe off the own goal, not quite. But CSUDH need this win so that they can try and carry the momentum into the third game. A full-power Howard College is not going to be what you want to face. This is your best opportunity, CSUDH. Run with it.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Oh, Alistair just hits the post. Another post. They need to get it cleared out. HCC hanging on a thread in that moment. They need to get some security here. They need a goal. And once again, momentum shifts. It's like the 5th time it's happened, and the momentum is clear every time it does shift. Big demo there from Nubo. Neuropulse there, followed up. Apollo with the save, bringing it back out the other side of the field. Logan off the wall.
I don't even know what to say at this point. I mean, I've mentioned it enough times here that it really should be drilled not only into the audience's head, but as well as the team's head. This is CSUDH's game to win. They need to win this right now, or they're going to have a bunch of difficulty. And with the amount of lucky shots they've had from Howard here, as another one goes off the post, they have been given as many blessings as possible. If they don't take advantage of this right now, they will be kicking themselves the rest of the series. As a matter of fact, they'll be kicking themselves the rest of this game. They've got 3.5 minutes into overtime. We're almost double time here. Really, whichever team loses here, it's going to be such a crushing blow to their chances in the series. This game has so much momentum riding on the line.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for continuing talking. After that save, I literally pushed my chair back and my headphones came unplugged from the amp. Alistair bringing it up. The man of the game for CSUDH, not able to beat Neuropulse, but Ganbear trying to make something happen as he finds Apollo middle of the field, and Nooble and HCC trying to bring it back the other way, but Alistair shutting it down. Neuropulse just clears it out. A great center, a great cross. Nothing to come of it yet as they double commit on the wall there. They need to get a clear here and control the clear. Never mind Alistair, the one who's finding double touches everywhere. Not able to find that one. Gambear, another center. Apollo just misses. And the onslaught continues.
And Alistair's got a shot, and there it is! CSUDH, after a relentless offense here, they had many attempts at it, and they will finish this one off with less than 30 seconds to double the normal time here. When I say CSUDH fought for this victory, they fought like no other, and now they're eyeing up the sweep.
It's Friday again. It's I can't think.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that. I mean, we mentioned going into this one, I'll give it to you. You called this ahead of time, Voltage. CSUDH, if they win this, they win it in a 3-0 sweep, like you said. So the question now becomes, do they win this or they win this last game? Because if they give this one to Howard, they not only leave the door open to a reverse sweep, they leave themselves with one of the most disappointing losses they would take all season. They're the underdogs here. They want to make it to the finals. They want to put a statement out there to Montana when they see them next week, but they're not there quite yet. CSUDH, you got one more game to go. One more.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they need to be able to put it away, or CSUDH need to be able to put it away. But Howard Community College came out roaring and firing in that overtime, especially the first, I would say, about 2 minutes on average. Then it came back the other way, and this momentum shift is something that we haven't seen the likes of this scale of it yet. It is back and forth, and when it switches, it is a full retreat on the defensive team. And then the other way, it's going to be just an onslaught from the offensive team. And then at some point, it'll switch and it'll go the other way, which is incredible.
I mean, the real question is once you said, like you said, when it goes the other way, that's when everything changes, and it's very drastic. It's sudden. It's very clear that it happens as well. The question is which one of these teams are going to be the one to take advantage of that? Because we saw a lot of times where the momentum went back and forth, but teams were either barring it out, barred down, off the backboard, whatever. So as much as it's great when it starts to swing your way, that doesn't really matter if you can't do something with it. So as it stands right now, I mean, there were a lot of opportunities for Howard to be able to try and close that game out. They just couldn't quite. So going into this third game, they need to take advantage of that. When the momentum swings, run with it. Do not stop running until you have a goal. Otherwise, you are just leaving the door open for your opponents to finish off the sweep.
On the other side of that, Howard Community College were blessed by the Rocket League gods on the defensive side for quite a while.
Very true.
It was just floating there, just waiting for somebody to hit it. And it hit crossbar, it hit post, and it totally missed. But it wasn't because Howard Community College was doing anything incredible or anything. It was just a misplay from CSUDH. So clean up the defense, but also when you have that offense, keep it going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the big thing about it is that, like you said, we mentioned this even in the first game. The defense was the part that was by far the most shaky out of everything that we saw off of Howard. They just couldn't figure out how to get out of their own half and create an effective offense, because the only time they ever really created an effective offense is when they had plenty of time to do so. And the minute that we saw CSUDH start cutting down that time, they started rushing challenges more, they started getting in the face of HCC, that's when everything changed. So Howard, you need to try and avoid that. Buy yourself time, whether that be a quick dribble or a quick ground play that at least buys you some space, whatever you can do, because CSUDH, if you just keep giving them this momentum and give them the ability to play at a fast pace but not make mistakes, they're going to be fine. But Howard, I mean, again, you are the stronger team on paper. Make it look like that here. You absolutely made it look like that in the first minute of overtime, and then it got shaky. So if you come out here firing, you got a shot. Otherwise, this is CSUDH's game to win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They've had the momentum. They've had what looks to be the better team in this game to go against the better team on paper. And I'm very excited to see how this third game goes down. Is CSUDH going to win this, making a 3-0 sweep of the number 2 team in the Challenger League? Or is Howard going to start their march back to a victory? So I'm going to start here. And at this point, who you've got after seeing the first 2 games? Does your mind change? Obviously, it's not going to be a four game series. Well, it could be. It just could be going the other.
I mean, that's the thing. It literally just could be a flip of what I was expecting. I mean, it could go to 4 games and somehow Howard takes this win here and then the next one goes to CSUDH. But realistically, I mean, you mentioned it to start off. This is what, I mean, This is what you're looking for. This is the type of game that you're looking for if you're CSUDH. You've swept a bunch of teams this season. You've ran with momentum this season. There's no reason to bet against you right now. This is the type of scenario you've been waiting for. And not only is this the type of scenario you've been waiting for, this is a scenario that everyone's going to talk about the rest of the season. Every other division that you've got, there's a couple upsets, and there's some people that you think, okay, maybe they can make it through. But if you make it through here, CSUDH, you not only become probably the fan favorite because you're the underdogs, you become a team that has a genuine chance at upsetting the #1 seed Montana, because this is ridiculous play right now. You guys are playing out of your minds.
Yeah,
So.
I'm going to let the teams know to join, but I'm going to continue on that thought. Montana, in my mind, seeing them early season, hasn't progressed all that much. It's difficult to, when you're already the better team, to get better. Howard and CSUDH, night and day difference. This is the cleanest Rocket League individually I've seen from a lot of these players. They just need to bring it together as a team, and the team that can do that the most consistently is going to be the team that wins this game 3. Noobles is up for it, but Ganbear back. Oh, Neuropulse with a great center, but nobody's going to be there as Logs decides to wait.
I mean, again, I go back into this saying just how surprised we really are here. I know that it sounded like from the beginning we were like, yes, ESTVH all the way. This is, we want to see them put up a good series and we think they've got a shot. But realistically, in pretty much everyone's mind, this game was going to, or the series was going to Howard. All 3 of us in the booth said this initially, is that we thought this was going to Howard. And now that CSUDH have come out here with just unrelenting firepower, the question really becomes, what do you do to stop them? Because Howard, they've had some good strategies in the past against teams, but it's never been playoffs. The pressure is on here, and they just don't seem to have an answer. So, Voltage, do you have one for them?
I don't know. I would tell Nooble to not bump his teammates out of net, first of all, as that got very scary there, but Nooble able to clear it with a save of his own. At this point, they need to play their game. They need to be bringing each other up. You and I have both talked to several of these players. You know, Logs and Trees is very positive, and then the other 2, they're positive most of the time, but they need to be very positive all the time right here. Bring each other up, give each other confidence, and that's how they're going to bring this back. But at the same time, CSUDH have been playing out of their mind as Alistair gets a shot on net and almost breathes Logs and Trees on the wall there, who uses all his boost to try to get to that ball and not able to do so. Oh, popped over, but just too far and a little too high as Neuropulse puts it off the backboard with no follow anywhere to be seen.
And that's the biggest issue we're seeing right now, is that Howard, their touches are getting better and better as the series goes on. They're obviously gaining more confidence in their play, but the issue is that little bit of hesitation, and that breaks all of their rotations because no one's there to follow them up. When you make a pass out to the middle, you need a teammate behind you that, even if they're not making the touch on the ball, they're at least presenting a challenge. When you don't present a challenge, you give the other team free reign on the ball. They can do what they want with it, and they get enough time that they can make a goal happen.
Wow.
Not like that. Had a goal open, Neuropulse somehow comes back, but this is what we mean. That's a good example of rotations backing up your teammate. One gets bumped, you're right there behind him. That needs to happen on offense as well. If a player goes up for a shot and then the pass comes out to the middle, you gotta be there and ready, because Howard right now, that little bit of hesitation is the difference between them going home this game and looking for a reverse sweep.
Yeah, at the same time, the other side of the coin. What a play. The last one back. Seems like nobody else is there. I'm going to just slowly roll this and jump in front of it and bump him. It left his team with a wide open goal, but Neuropulse slides in from nowhere to save it. And it's an opposite of game number 1, as we've got still 2 minutes left on the clock, and we've got no goals.
Oh yeah, this one's tight as can be. A big thing that's coming back into play here, though, we're starting to see the physicality get up here. The bumps and demos, obviously the bump we saw from the last one to try and put it in came out, but We're seeing some demos around the sides too, just to try and break this boost steal. Everybody off of CSUDH, they're at full boost and they're ready to play. Meanwhile, Howard getting trapped in the corner with very low boost. Logs has got 20 to pop that to the middle. Apollo's got a shot, but Neuro's got the save. This is where CSUDH become deadly. When they get the time to build up an offense, usually it results in a goal. Maybe not today, though. Nubo, does he have the follow-up touch? It's off the wall. Logden's reach, you've got an open net, but he can't put it away. Howard, that was your best opportunity all game.
Oh, and Neuro just dunks Nooble's opportunity to continue pressure.
Oh my word, none of you guys can see our cameras right now, but both me and Voltage are looking like the not like this guy. We got our hands on our head. We wanted to see Howard take this to a game 4, and that was their opportunity. 40 seconds left now, and the issue, and I guess worry becomes, is the next goal the winner? Alistair's got an open net, Logs and Trees, tries to get off the spawn, but the demo's gonna keep the goal open. Ganbear, he's gonna possibly finish this one.
Yeah, just last back was the one to miss it. Ganbear receives a nice center there from Alistair, and it's going to be 30 seconds away from CSUDH, upsetting the number 2 seed. And HCC, a great center coming out from Noble. It is floating. It's there. Neuro pulses up, misses that one. Noble trying to get back here again at a 2v1 odd man rush. Ganbear, excuse me, trying to bring it back for a second goal. 15 seconds on the clock. Mistouch from Nooble. Ganbear once again there to shut it down. Neuro puts it around 2. Oh, sitting it the other way is going to be Alistair, and it's going to be down to the wire. A floater. Nooble's in the middle. What save? And CSUDH, the number 3 seed, takes game number 3. And a 3-0 sweep.
What?
Huh?
I've got no words. I cannot believe that. I know you mentioned it at the beginning, AJ, but I mean, what?
I tell you what, both of you guys sound a little lost for words. I've been watching this match from behind the scenes, and oh my goodness, one of my favorite things that I've done is I took a picture of you two, both hands on your head. That has to go up on the Twitter page, as we just saw one of the most, improbable. We all called it in the pregame. Guys, a massive upset. We're going to let our producer know. I'd love to get Alistair, if we could get an interview, if you could get started on that. But listen, my goodness, Bass, I'll start with you, because, I saw your hat fly off 5 or 7 times. I saw unplugged heads. What are you thinking right now? My gosh.
My mind is blown. We mentioned going into this to begin with that, I can't even say we mentioned. You mentioned this, Voltage, going into this, is that CSUDH, the way they play their games, it's either all or none. They either win it in 3 or they lose it in 3. The minute we saw the first game go their way, we really should have just accepted at that point that this was their series to win. But Howard, even for how great they played the whole match, CSUDH just kept matching them every single time that it looked like Howard had a good shot, a good opportunity. All of a sudden, it seemed like CSUDH was just at that level. My mind is blown. I've got nothing else to say.
I tell you what, and AJ, I'm going to come to you, but right now it looks like we have Alex himself, Alistair, in here. My friend, how are you feeling right now? Can you hear me?
No, wait.
Alistair?
We'll have him just shortly. Alex, do we have you there on the call? We will get that mic sorted out here just shortly.
Right now, we'll throw it back to you, Voltage. Voltage, so you were saying your final thoughts about the game as you saw that go through. Real quick, if you can summarize it.
CSUDH was a step ahead the whole time. Yeah, the first game, first 11 seconds, we got 2 goals, 1 each way. And we knew it was going to be high-flying, full of action match at that point. But after a 7-2 game 1 victory, after going over how's it going?
Okay.
I think we got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean to cut AJ off right there, but we have Alex, the man himself. You guys saw, I mean, goodness, Alistair, listen, how are you feeling right now? Because right now my casters are freaking out, and what's the mood over there right now?
We did have him for a
We
half
just
a
had
second.
We just had him. Well, listen, I am blown away right now. I mean, Voltage. I don't know what was more entertaining for me, watching this unbelievable upset by the CSUDH team, or watching you potentially fall out of your chair trying to keep up with this match. I mean, it was. I mean, energy. I mean, energy is an understatement. What are you? I mean, you were breaking it down right there, but my goodness, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, after I looked at, how they played all season, and I knew CSUGH either swept or got swept almost every time. And so I knew it was going to be a very hard fought battle if HCC did lose that first game. And that's exactly what it was. Alistair and Apollo and Ganper just came out to play the read. And I will talk to him about it in just a moment when we get this figured out. But the read that he almost made from the peak of the backboard that almost shut down logs and trees was amazing, to say the least.
And how
Very
about Bass? How about you right there? How about that final play of the entire match right there? The ball almost going in. You almost had a heart attack as it happens. What could you tell me about what you saw there? And I thought we were going to get another overtime.
I was hoping for an overtime. Again, I don't want to be biased here. I mean, I really, truly do want every team here to have the same sort of opportunity. But man, there was something about me that was just like, if we can keep seeing more of this action, I will do whatever it takes. I wanted that one to go in so badly, just so we could see one more game between these two squads. Because again, I mean, really, for how well CSUDH plays, and they definitely were the better team here today. They played a great game and obviously walked away with a win in a 3-0 fashion. But no credit taken away from Howard. They played fantastic. That whole game, they really did come into that one, and they played very, very well, especially the final two games. All the issues they had the first two games really started to get ironed out. The crazy thing was that CSUDH stepped up to bat, and man, I just wish we could have seen an overtime, because it would have been fascinating to see where we would be right now.
And like you said, unbelievable. Let's see if we have Alex. Alex, do we have you there?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
There it
Oh,
is.
Hey, there it is. Alex, listen, unbelievable match. Listen, I know that to you, it's no surprise whatsoever, but a massive upset for us here as the team that you just took down in Howard Community College, only one loss on the season. My question is pretty simple. What's the mood like over there in the sunshine, over there in California?
Honest, everybody's hyped. Everybody in the Discord call is hyped. Everybody's honestly just filled with excitement. It's crazy. Such a crazy game that we had, honestly.
Oh my goodness, unbelievable. And we have so much to dissect. We appreciate you taking time away from your teammates here, and I know that we'll let you get back to them shortly. But AJ, I'm going to start off with you, man. What an unbelievable match, and I'm sure you have questions for Alex here.
Yeah, I mean, your team feeds off the momentum, obviously. Well, I've been talking about it since the pregame. At what point did you guys learn that about yourselves, or did you guys not even realize that it was either 3-0 or 0-3 either way? And what do you guys do in that first game to guarantee that momentum goes in your way, especially this late in the season? Y'all have been consistently winning.
Honestly, it was last game against Alabama. Towards the end, we kind of felt like we have what it takes to progress in this tournament. And we just kept grinding, kept practicing, and just showing up. And here we are, just on our way to the finals.
I mean, and show up you did, a massive showing. Oliver, I cannot leave you out here because the excitement you had was unbelievable. I know you have so many things, but Oliver, go ahead.
I mean, Alex, honestly, I just want to congratulate you guys on obviously defying the odds pretty much the entire way through here. There were so many people who were banking on Alabama taking you guys the first match. I had you guys as my favorites because I thought you guys had an impressive season, and I'm happy to see you've now made it all the way to the finals. What was the vibe like after the second game? Because I know that the final must have been insane. You guys got a goal just barely at the end. But you're 4 minutes into overtime. Neither team has been able to nail a shot in almost 5 minutes. I mean, how tense was that Discord call during that second
man.
match?
It was crazy. Everybody, tensions were high. I felt like personally I was making too many mistakes, and being able to rely on my teammates is just the best thing.
Absolutely. And Alex, I'd love for you to touch base on that just a little bit more. You say relying on your teammates. When you might be in a situation like that where you're in a slump or you just feel like you're making a couple mistakes, what exactly is that communication like, and what are you looking for from your teammates, and how are they picking you up in those situations?
It's just making those fast call-outs, you know. The first game I was making a few mistakes, too many mistakes, probably the reason why they scored those 2 goals in my opinion. But having them back you up and just the team connectivity that we have is just crazy, and I hope just to keep it up throughout the tournament.
Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, an unbelievable matchup. The last thing that I have for you before we let you get back to your teammates, Alex, it's a pretty simple question. You come into today's match, you win your first match, you take out this Howard Community College team, you beat the number 2 seed in the tournament, and now you are one match away from your first, a national championship here in the Challengers division. And we know, look, listen, I'm going to not try to be like super caster right now. I'm just going to be honest and real with you. You go up against a Montana team that has just been absolutely brutal all year. You come in as the underdog. What are you looking to do, as now the script has been written, the Hollywood script has been set in front of you, and now it's just to get it done? What are you looking to do in these finals, and how are you guys going to pull off this a crazy Cinderella run?
It's honestly going to be crazy. You know, we're going to have to look back at tape from when we played them previously, try to go with our momentum that we have right now. Hopefully just try to adjust to their playstyle, because they have a pretty good playstyle that it's hard to counter, you know. And we're just going to have to find something to just try to win.
Absolutely. And before we let you go one more time, I'd love to give you the opportunity. If you'd love to give any shout outs right now, I'd love to give you that opportunity to do that.
Oh man, shout out to Thomas, shout out to Apollo, shout out to Fernie. That guy just puts in work. Shout out to let's see, Dizzy and Babe.
That's what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Listen, Alex, thank you for being here with us. A massive, massive victory. Congratulations. Let your team know the Toros are on a roll. And I tell you what, right now, if you mess with the bull, you get the horns, and you guys are doing it. Congratulations on a massive victory.
That's right. Thank you guys for having me.
You're welcome. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, look, we know, guys, as casters, can we ask for much more than a storybook ending like this seed coming out, taking out the number 2 team? For them to win the championship, they will have to take down the number 1 seed in this tournament. So you cannot say that CSUDH was given anything. They have worked and worked. And Oliver, I will go to you. I mean, I cannot wait for the finals of this Challengers division.
I don't think it's possible to wait at this point. I mean, literally, this is one of the most tense brackets I've seen in a very long time. It's genuinely insane to me how much, like, every time we think that there's this is an obvious winner, there's a pretty good chance, it just seems to go the other way. Even for the last match where Montana we thought they were all going to just take it in a quick sweep or something similar. Becker came out firing. I mean, every team here is not only ready to play, they've genuinely got a shot at this. It's going to be ridiculous this weekend.
Oh, it's going to be unbelievable, and you guys will be here with me. AJ, I know that you're ready for the weekend, but right now, what can you say about this Challengers bracket? I mean, is there much more you can say?
I think we've got the best 2 teams going head-to-head, at least how they played this tournament. There is no question about it. CSUDH came out and they outplayed HCC in a sloppy first game and then just kept the momentum going. On the other side of things, Becker beat Carroll in a almost a sweep, and then Montana almost did it back to them. So I really do think we've got the best 2 teams in this Challenger division going up against each other on Saturday.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, the fun does not stop here as we are about to focus to the Champions Division. But we do want to remind you that Saturday, November 22nd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can check out the finals of the NECC Challengers Division. I will be here along with all these guys, and we will have an unbelievable match. But right now, we are going to shift focus and get ready for the Champions Division. Boys, right around the corner from this short little break, we are going to see the number 1 seed in Illinois Westland face off against Central Methodist University. Guys, we will see you guys around the break. My name is Jaron Bell. I am your host here at the NECC for Voltage Plays and Bass from the Past, Mr. Oliver Bass. We will see you right on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NECC. I am your host, Jaron Bell, and we are right around the corner from another's match. We're going to keep this pregame short because we have teams ready to go. You just saw an unbelievable match in the Challengers Division, but right now we head over to the Champions Division in the NECC Rocket League Championships. But before we do that, I just want to remind you to follow us on social media at NECC Games. Again, that's NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates, all sorts of announcements, and giveaways. We have a giveaway from our friends over at HyperX that you want to check out on our Twitter, and everything social media is at NECC Games. Ladies and gentlemen, the number 1 seed, AJ is going to go ahead and let the teams know that we are ready to get into it, but we're going to see the number 1 seed in the Champions Division in Illinois Wesleyan University facing off against Central Methodist University. Central Methodist comes into this game after taking out North Central Technical College in the last round as the 4 seed. We are ready. Voltage plays and Blast from the Past on the call. My name is Jaron Bell. I will see you in the post game. Guys, have a good match.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much, Jaron.
Yeah, as these two teams get started here, I want to get your opinions because we haven't had much time to talk about this game coming up. We've got the number 1 team in Illinois going up against the number 4 team, in Central Methodist. What's going through your mind?
That Illinois is a ridiculously strong team, and they're showing that right here, right now. My word, what a start. I feel like all these games have started off with this amount of action, though.
Yeah, all of them are starting with a bang. Everybody is excited about the semifinals here as we're getting deeper into playoffs every match we play.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just back and forth these ones go, and it really is. I mean, theoretically, it's supposed to get closer and closer every single match, but I mean, it just beyond has here as Wesleyan get ready to try and score another one here. Cat can't quite get the carry. It's just off the post. I mean, listen, they're supposed to be even. Central Methodist, though, right now, they're having some difficulty getting out of their own half. It's only been 40 seconds, and they've barely been out more than 10.
Yeah, there's been a failure to launch moment here, but CMU and Roadrunner leading the charge, not able to do much, and what an angle Cad just found.
Oh, my. These teams, I mean, just back and forth. The shots keep getting better and better. We mentioned this all day. The issue is that the shots get better and better. So do the defense. The defense here is so struggling a little bit for everybody off Wesleyan as they're now on their own half trying to just keep this one out for now. Cad's going to pop this to the middle. Roadrunner's got a shot, but it's not going to be a powerful enough one. Finally, the counterattack comes. And that demo could be big. Gon's going to pop this out to the side. Zerx is on this one. So is Cad. A little bit of delay now. This could be an opportunity for CMU, but not quite. Central Methodist just can't seem to finish it off here despite staying in their opponent's half a long time.
Yeah, we've got the number 1 and number 4 seed, as I said earlier, in the championship division. We just finished the semifinals for the Challenger division. This is the higher division. These are going to be generally more high-skilled plays as I look over at Bass's face, which is just a gape after that shot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just ridiculous that these guys just continue to impress me with, oh, my word, the precision on their touches. Speaking of which, Mag with a perfect pass out to the middle and a better follow-up out of Zerx. This is just great coordination from Illinois Wesleyan here.
Yeah, the give and go really works for them as Zerx passes it out and then receives the pass back 2-0 for Illinois early in this game. But we've seen continued pressure from CMU build as Phantom puts it off the back wall of Illinois, and Cad capitalizes off that misplay. You watch this, Phantom trying to control this, but he just pops it out too hard. Gan pushes too hard, and Cad reads it perfectly for the 3rd goal in less than a minute and a half.
All right, so I know I don't want to make an early prediction because so far early predictions have been the absolute bane of our existence here today. But Illinois, I mean, they're running away with this right now. CMU just don't seem to have any sort of answer as continually over and over again. This offense impresses all of us here in the booth, and with good reason. These shots are ridiculous. You just got to wonder, what's the key to victory here for everyone off of Central Methodist? Because right now, they've been held to a single shot and 3 saves. I mean, they're barely able to control this ball when they get a touch on it. They need to figure something out. Voltage, do you have an answer? Because I sure don't.
Diamond 2, so, rotate. That's my answer for everything if you don't know. Zerk's challenging in midfield, being able to get a win there. Trying to get a pre-flip to continue the ball, moving over to the CMU side of the field, but not able to, and now CMU has brought it back the other way. A big hit from Gan going over the net of Illinois. Misplayed there, but Roadrunner is there to take out the Coyote, I guess, in his mind. I don't know there. But Zerk's floating in right in the middle of the field, trying to challenge. And just the plays that these players are making are almost uncomprehendable.
I mean, this is just ridiculous right now, how well everybody off IWU has been playing here. CMU definitely still have an opportunity, but when 2 of them chase into their opponent's net for pretty much no reason, you're not really going to be able to. I think a big part of why IWU has done so well right now, Illinois Wesleyan have just had great rotations. As a unit, they've played very well. Meanwhile, on the other half of it, it still does seem like CMU aren't quite in full focus here, as Cad almost gets a ridiculous double touch, but a minute left in this game. I think this one might be going to IWU. There's a chance that it goes the other way, but Wesleyan right now, they're just playing so well.
Wait, is that you trying to not call a game too early? I've rubbed off on you enough? I finally caught him. Let's go, boys.
You'll take the dub for today, similarly to how maybe IWU will here in a couple of seconds. They got about 30 left. I mean, listen, it's possible here for everyone off of CMU, but they got to make something happen. This normal attack that they've been trying just is not breaking any of the guys off IWU, especially when you make shots like that. Cad, what on earth?
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that that's Kate. He just has changed his name a little bit, but I could be wrong. But as we go into the final 17 seconds in game number 1, I'll be the first one to call it. This is game. 4 goals. How many shots on net? 11, and only 5 saves coming out the other way.
I mean, this is just ridiculous. This one, when we say uneven, this is what... I'm not going to say this is what we expected the last match between Howard and from CSUDH, but this is more what we say when we say one-sided. This is more what we're talking about. This was a dominant performance for IWU here. They walk away with 11 shots in comparison to their opponent's 2. They only had to make 2 saves to their opponent's 5. I mean, really, there was no point in this game that it really looked like Illinois Wesleyan was going to have an issue finishing out this game. As much as I want to give Central Methodist credit because they didn't play a terrible game there, they definitely did not seem like the team to gain control at any moment. Oh, interesting. Good to know. So these guys...
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, all you.
I was just going to say, we're getting a little bit of info from our producer. Their average MMR is extremely high here, so this really should be something where all these players here should have an ability to try and, keep this up and be able to play at like a super high level. So this really just goes to show you how in control Wesleyan have been here. I mean, this is not a team that should not be able to hold up against Wesleyan. It's just that Central Methodist, despite playing a good game, are not playing to the ridiculous degree that Wesleyan are at right now.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in this game is way higher ranked than I am. I'm trying to think. I mean, I can't even fathom getting some of these touches that they are. But at the same time, the difference in skill level between these 2 teams are definitely present. But at the same time, you can beat a well-skilled team that's playing individually with teamwork. I don't know how they're going to beat a well-skilled team that's playing as a team. Any ideas on your side of things there?
I mean, The big thing here is that they have to do is work as a unit. We mentioned previously, IWU had been doing so well here because they had been working as a cohesive unit. Their passes were playing well. Their touches were really exact. They just made a good job of making sure that when they needed to be there as a backup for their teammate, they were. CMU right now, they just don't seem to have that sort of rotation. Phantom's got a great follow-up touch on there, and Roadrunner's got a great follow-up dive, but notice how now there's no one back. The issue is that as much as these dives and these rotations are great, you need to make sure that your opponents are, your teammates are in place to back you up. Otherwise, you're just leaving more and more holes that IWU are going to take advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, Phantom is going to be the player to watch on Central Methodist CMU, but at the same time, Roadrunner and Gand will be the ones to set him up and put him in a great place. He's just going to be the one that happens to get the last touch on it.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a powerful player. We've seen it before. The question is it enough of a change-up that it's going to throw some loops for IWU? As Mag goes flying through the air with this one, I think not quite yet. They've got some more time here, though, and that demo out in the midfield is going to buy them some momentum. The issue is that really IWU not giving them any space. The minute that they think they've got the momentum on their side, IWU is there to suppress them. Another good demo out of Phantom, but the collision's going to end it there. Mag's going to pop this one high. IWU getting a counterattack really from another missed rotation off of CMU.
CMU is already almost in front of their net. A great challenge there from Phantom, who's brought it all the way down to the IW third of the field. But it goes back the other way from a great challenge from Cade, who almost puts it in. And this is a different game than the first one. We've played over 2 minutes and no goals no goals go in, versus last time it was 1.5 minutes and we had a 3-0 game.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very clear that CMU have at least stepped it up here. The real question becomes, though, despite CMU stepping up so drastically here, is can they finish the game? When shots like that don't come in, it's going to be pretty hard to beat your opponents who are in such great form here. Zergs cannot get the follow-up. Cade back out to the middle. Mag now trying to run with this one. You just see how much presence IWU has here. They obviously could have rushed the shot. Mag could have tried to take one, but instead he slowed it down, waited for his team to get ready and in position so they could play as a unit. This is what's separating these teams right now. For as well as CMU have done here in this game, all of their shots do not look threatening enough. They have not been able to set up a clear offense. Meanwhile, IWU, every time they get the ball, it seems like they're setting up a clear offense.
Oh, absolutely. But if we look back at last Friday, Carroll playing Becker. Becker looked like the better team, but later on, Carroll just put enough shots on net where they weren't able to get to it. And what teamwork as Phantom takes out Mag, and Cade comes in to follow up. Zerks over to Mag across, floats it there, and Cade is ready for the pass. Another well-played team play. There's nothing else you can do about it.
I mean, listen, that's the very definition of a 1-2-3 play. You get everyone on your team involved. Speaking of which, no one involved in that one but Cade, excuse me. But again, it's the same sort of thing that I was just mentioning. That's where IWU is getting the advantage here. They continue to make these passing plays as a team, and it just is so hard to read when you've got three players on the field that at any moment could take a shot and you don't know which one's going to. It's very easy for the first player in that play to make a shot. It's very easy for the second player to make a shot there too, but that final pass is so just out of the way that there's no way CMU are predicting it. So CMU, you got to start making offenses like that. Shots like that where it's just straight at net from Phantom while you got a player in the midfield, they're not smart. That's not the play you want to make because it does not frazzle the defense at all. They're just as confident as before.
Yeah, but I mean, seeing IWU's ability to find their teammates, and never mind Mag, just puts a floater up there, and I guess everybody just ran out of boost as Phantom just sets it there, and a quick flick, puts two out of position, and not able to get back in his scan.
I mean, that's just an unfortunate play. It's a little bit of awkwardness in front of the net. IWU walking away with a second goal as a result. I mean, Illinois Wesleyan, we've mentioned how they've been in control. This game definitely less so than the first one, where the first one they were just absolutely the favorite to win this one. Now IWU still the favorite to win it here in game number 2, but it does seem like there's a little bit of momentum on CMU's side. The question is can they actually do anything with that in game 3? Otherwise, they're facing the sweep, and I mean, 27 seconds left. I won't count them out of this game quite yet, but it's going to be a hard... Oh, my...
Oh, and you can't after that shot. Dan finds Roadrunner. Oh, just floating up there. What an angle.
I just feel bad. Mag, I mean, it's not a bad attempt at a save, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Zerx had the save had that touch not come out from Mag. Maybe this is what they need, though. CMU, they're going to look for any cracks in the defense they can. Run with this anti-momentum against everybody off IWU. Oh, wait, maybe not. Oh, my word! I spoke too soon! Okay, no, I didn't. I take it back. I mean, listen, this is a great shot. Watch the save!
Phantom.
Oh, my.
Finding the perfect angle and then Roadrunner getting dunked, not setting himself up for a 50 that would go in his favor.
I mean, listen, as much as I am very impressed by the fact that they were able to walk away with a goal there after having such great defense on the line, I just want to take another second to mention how great that save was from Phantom. You guys aren't going to win this game, but you at least have one of the highlights of the day. Phantom with probably the best save we're going to see this entire day.
Yeah, I don't know. Mountain Drew, he came for one
Yeah.
earlier in the day, but at the same time, that was very impressive. So it's going to be 2 games in favor of IWU, but at the same time, it was momentum for CMU. There's a goal. There were not 2 shots, but make that 3 shots on net, and one of them went in. It's just, they're on their heels too much, and there's not much you can do against a team who is playing as well as IWU is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous. IWU, we mentioned previously that, like, a lot of these teams, they come here and they don't necessarily play to what would be our expectations. They play well, but they don't necessarily hit all of the check marks. There's not a check mark that Wesleyan is not hitting right now. They have been the offensive powerhouse this entire game. They had 13 shots compared to Central Methodist's 3. They had, they forced, I should say, 8 saves out of Central Methodist, but the crazy thing is that they still didn't go saveless on their half. They did have 2 saves, so they blocked 2 out of the 3 shots that Central Methodist were able to take. It just seems like right now that Wesleyan is in control. IWU, they've got both halves of the field on lock. CMU, I mean, you got to run with your momentum here in this 3rd game. If you do not come out here with a firepower to start, you're looking at a sweep. And it looks like we're just about ready to get into this next game. So, I mean, Voltage, I've said it enough times here. I think it's pretty much ingrained in both the audience and the player's mind here. If this isn't the game for CMU, like if they don't come out here immediately, there's no shot for them. So, for you, what do CMU need to do in order to try and take this one?
I mean, really, Roadrunner has had issues finding people. I don't know if it's an inability to like have that much control on a shot or a pass, or he's just not looking for them. So I'd really want to see him start looking for those teammates and finding outlets. Gan trying to cut off rotation. Roadrunner actually trying to find teammates, I would assume, but he's not able to make connection. Just work. You've got to have perfect rotation and perfect team play if you're going to beat this team, because that's what they have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, IWU has, when you say perfect, it really has been perfect, especially when you get an open net like that. Mag almost gets his goal stolen by Cade, and as a result, Cade messing around a little bit too much. You got to score the goal first, my guy, before you start flying to steal them. I mean, listen, I understand you guys have had a dominant series, but you cannot afford to give up goals like that. They're back on offense again, but IWU, if you lose by 1 in this game, we're coming back to this moment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If they lose by 1 here and then somehow lose the series, we're going back to that.
We're also going back to that. What just happened? 2 open nets in a row and they don't walk away with it. IWU, what is going on?
I think that they're just enjoying it, hanging out with some buddies at this point. They feel confident. They're not going up in the air as much as they have. They're, hanging out, it looks like, compared to what we've seen. Zerx leaves the floater. Cade follows, hits crossbar, goes out. Roadrunner leads the charge the other way, but Mag is too quick. Phantom's quicker though. as Zerks gets demoed, heading towards the net, not able to get there quite yet, but Phantom finds Gan mid. Gan jumping a little late for my comfort, not able to find the middle of the net, but the pressure continues on. CMU is taking their opportunity that IWU is giving them. A bump from Cade onto Mag, cuts it in, nobody there from CMU. Zerk, Mag, backboard, back to Cade. Oh, and Roadrunner was almost there, but look at the team play. You know they're talking about it. Straight down to Mag from Zerks, and Cade is already in the air before it hits backboard.
I mean, this is what we've been talking about all day. This is why IWU is such a scary team. There are a lot of teams that can try to pull off some sort of play like that. They have an idea to make a passing play involving their whole team. There are not a lot of teams that can execute like that, though. When you get down to the opportunities, a lot of teams will whiff the touches. They won't make them precise enough. Every part of that play was picture perfect right now. IWU, when we say they're ready and here to play, I mean, they're beyond here to play right now. They're here to dominate whichever team they face in the finals next. If they finish this game out, I mean, it's going to be a scary scenario. However, on the flip side, if CMU can bring this back, I got to imagine that there's going to be no more terrifying team than a team that reverse sweeps the #1 seed.
Yeah, if CMU is able to bring this back, they're going to feel on top of the world as Roadrunner almost finds the angle. Gan there to challenge Phantom. Last one back, also first one up. Passes it out to Roadrunner, I guess, but Zerks almost beats him there. Center ball, nobody goes for it except for Roadrunner, who finds himself up on the wall, getting bumped. Gan quicker than Zerks, and it's going back the other way with the floater and a big bump. Phantom's not able to get there in time, and Roadrunner moves up as the defending player. They're playing very aggressive, and it shows. There are moments when just a pop, the slowest ball you've ever seen cleared can be the ball that goes in.
Yeah, right now CMU, they're doing a good job of at least getting these opportunities. My biggest issue with what they're doing on offense right now is it feels like there's still some hesitation. They're not getting these follow-up touches quick enough. Speaking of which, that one floats out in the middle. No one's there. Gon's got a shot here. This one almost saved. Mag gets in touch, but it's not going to be enough. Gon's still going to put this one through. I mean, this is still an offense that, in my opinion, there were so many opportunities for IW to save this. This is a breakdown for IW's defense.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how seriously they're taking it, but now that they have a tie game in game number 3, and the casters are somehow talking about a reverse sweep, if they're listening, they might just want to try to finish this one out so we can not talk about that and jinx them.
I would hope not. I mean, if you're at least the coach for IW, you got to hope that he's listening to the cast a little bit and taking some of the notes back to his team. The question really now becomes is, for IWU, can they finish this off here, or are we going to a game 4? Even if we go to a game 4, the momentum is more or less on their side. We got 50 seconds, and we're going to find out. 45 left on the clock. Do we have a shot here? Well, we'll have to see, it seems.
Yeah, but 40 seconds on the clock. They are down by 2 games. I like what CMU is doing. It was my suggestion to Carroll when they were down by 2 against Becker. Phantom is quick on the draw. Great pass there from Roadrunner. I guess coach said, hey, the voltage guy said you can't pass. And he's like, hey, watch this. Second assist.
We're not quite done yet. It looks like we might have a game 4. 2-1, 30 seconds left. My question now becomes, does IWU have a response here? We mentioned it previously. If it comes down to a 1 game or to a 1 goal difference here, we're mentioning that little bit of a goal steal at the beginning, and we're also mentioning the 2 missed open shots afterwards. It's very, very possible for IWU have won this game, and they've just been messing around too much, it seems. 10 seconds left. This is the last opportunity. Zerks, you got to get this to the middle. He'll get it out to Mag. Mag's going to miss the shot, though. 5 seconds left. Back to the middle. Cade, you are the last chance for your team, and this one hits the ground. That is all but over. Central Methodist, I mean, that was your shot. What happened?
Not Central Methodist. IWU, that was
Excuse
your shot.
me, IWU, that was your shot. What happened?
I mean, Central Methodist said you don't get to joke around and hang out with us. We're gonna play this and we're gonna win.
I mean, it was just I can't believe it. It was just one of these games where Illinois Wesleyan looked like they could have finished that at any time, but they just didn't. I don't know if it's to try and give their opponents a little bit of momentum or just, trying to keep the games close, but I mean, there was no reason, in my opinion, that CMU should have walked away the victor there. Wesleyan definitely could have taken that. And the question now becomes, CMU, they played a good game this last game. Can they run this into the fourth one? Because if they carry this momentum into the next game, IWU is going to be kicking themselves the rest of the series.
Yeah, I mean, CMU showed that they do have the ability to score goals. They have 9 shots on goal and also 8 saves. On the other side, we've got 16 shots on net. Wow.
16 shots on net and 3 saves. And that's why I say Wesleyan, I mean, stats alone, they are the team in favor of winning this. CMU, they squeaked that one out. We'll have to find out, though. We're just about ready to go into the next match. All the teams getting ready to up here. I mean, this is the last shot, really, in my opinion, for IWU to close out this series definitively. If they finish this here in Game 4, they have definitively said that we are not only the #1 seeds, but we are ready to play in the finals. If they give CMU another chance, not only does this open up an opportunity for CMU to finish off this series and upset, this also gives whatever team faces them next in the finals a whole lot of momentum as they say, okay, well, it seems like CMU was able to take them to 5 games. Why can't we? So you're breaking down the illusion a little bit here by giving these teams this much momentum. IWU, you got to finish this one off here now if you want some sort of, I guess, I don't know, fear instilled in your opponents in the finals.
I don't know. As you're saying that, I'm thinking, like, if I was being clever, why not, if it feels easy, try to bring it to Game 5. So whoever you're playing next thinks you don't have the stamina to take it to a long series, or, you know, whatever they might think, and might not take it as seriously as IWU deserves to be taken. Oh, but Phantom says, no way. This is my game, my series, as he makes a fantastic angle from the right side, bar down, 1-0 in favor of CMU.
I mean, here's the thing. CMU, they're not playing bad. That's the thing. I mentioned last game that it was obviously IWU's game to win, as Zerx gets a bit of a kickoff goal here. Not much to read into on this one, but, you know, it happens. It happens. Yeah, a little bit of Caster's Curse. But the big thing is now CMU, they're starting to look like a cohesive unit. As much as IWU the last game, they kind of let that one walk away from them a little bit. CMU didn't necessarily look up to stuff. CMU, when they're a good team, they're a deadly team. So if IWU lets them get into form here, they're really risking losing this series when they could have finished it off here at the very end of Game 3. Instead, now, Game 4 we go, and it really does look like CMU's in control right now.
Yeah, they've got that offensive pressure, but as all 3 players retreat, they give it up. Good 50 with Cade in mid. A good dunk, and I didn't even catch who that was, but Phantom's going to clear it out. Roadrunner's going to be trying to take boost as Phantom tries to read it. A slow roller gets past 1, not able to get past 2. Gan setting it up to the corner for Phantom, who's going to catch this one there. Nevermind sends it, tries to find a teammate mid. Nobody there as Roadrunner gets demoed and just perfectly spawns back and just almost hits the angle, and he was set up for it. I can see his mind churning without seeing his face as Gand is dribbling somebody as Zerx goes back the other way, making it 2-1. IWU retakes the lead here in game number 4.
Oh my word, what a pretty flip from Zerx. That was just such perfect finish there. A little bit of a touch to finish it off, and now 2-1 IWU. This is what we were hoping from them. These plays, the passing plays, are what they've been the strongest with thus far. They've got about 3 minutes left to try and hold on to this one as Mag makes a great save off the backboard. The question really becomes now is if CMU scores another goal here, if they tie this back up, does IWU still have the mental fortitude to try and finish this game off? Half the game left. We're only going to have to see as Gon tries to read the pass. Zerx has got a good in between. He's going to make sure to stop that. That touch from Cade, though, is not in the right direction. Mag up into the side. Cade out to the side as well. This one's going back and forth. It really doesn't necessarily seem like CMU is in control anymore, but it definitely still seems like CMU could score at any moment. Barely walking away with a save is Cade. I don't know if my heart can take much more of this.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed it earlier while CMU was on the offensive attack. I believe it was or Gone as you were pronouncing it, moved up and decided I'm going to demo one of them after I just blew up one. Oh, and Phantom leaves it open for Mag. And it's just a slight mistouch, and Mag punishes.
Oh, that's just an absolute shame. That missed touch out to the middle is pretty much, I'm not going to say it's the nail in the coffin, as we've got 2 minutes left here, and it's definitely possible for a team to make more than even 2 goals in these 2 minutes. But the issue now becomes is that we mentioned how much momentum had been a factor here in this series. The one time that IWU looked to have some vulnerability was of one time that CMU started to gain some momentum. Now the momentum all the way back to IWU, and as they score, oh no, I said it too soon. They do not score another one. This one off the bar and out, but again, it still does seem like the momentum's on IWU's side.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, your caster's curse is working the opposite way from a good Friday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Zerk's trying to retreat as Mag cuts that off. Gan cutting rotation. Never mind, Phantom does step up. It looked like he was going to be the one to cut. As Roadrunner going back for boost, ignoring Cade with the ball. And you don't want to do that as Cade sends it out to mid. Mag follows up the clear. Tries to get a bump on Roadrunner. I'm not sure how much contact they made. Zerk's up. Challenge from Dan, and they have to kind of slow down their attack, and Phantom's starting to bring it the other way. Just gets it over one, but nobody is across the field. And that's what's been bugging me the most for CMU. They are all pushing these same lanes.
They're not only pushing the same lanes, they're pushing the same lanes and then doing it unsuccessfully. It's one thing. Oh my god! The entire team run it at once. Almost a ridiculous solo play there from CMU. Not quite, but with 30 seconds left, I mean, I'm not going to say this is all but written, but that was the best shot you've had so far this game, and to not be able to get it finished there is going to be absolutely devastating, as Zerks puts in another one from a fantastic bump in the net, I believe, out of Cade.
Yeah, Cade tries to get the late flip reset, not able to do so. Realize the shot's coming into net, and Gan just gets bumped around it. And what a play there. And I don't think that I've seen a hungrier team than CMU when they are down and one game left in the series if they lose. These players are playing their hearts out, and you can tell.
I mean, this is just ridiculous as it stands right now. This team has played so well as they score. Oh, no, not score another one. Okay, they do score another one. Excuse me. The save comes out. Mag's still going to be able to drill that one through. I mean, this is just ridiculous right now. This is crazy how well this team has played as a unit. IWU walking away with as much momentum as physically possible here at the very end. I mean, really impressive stuff so far at IWU.
Yeah, Gand, Roadrunner, and Phantom. GG's, y'all played your hearts out, but that's gonna do it. And IWU takes game number 4, 3-1 in the series, and they move on to the finals.
Congratulations to IWU.
My goodness, gentlemen, what a match that we just saw. And wow, the number 1 seed shows why they are the number 1 seed, but you have to give it to CMU for, I mean, they did get the 1 game. So, I mean, it is impressive the way it played out, but you know what, Bass, I'm going to start with you. What did Illinois Wesleyan, what is it that makes them as dominant as they are?
Passing plays and coordination. I mean, we mentioned it a lot during this cast, but really every single goal that they made, or I would say a majority of the goals that they made, were from some pass from another teammate where they were able to read it correctly. They played as a cohesive unit, and that's really what propelled them here to where they are right now. I see a lot of the chat hyping up IWU, just saying how ridiculously skilled they are, and I think it's almost an understatement to say the least. They have just been ridiculously good here today.
You're correct. And ladies and gentlemen, for everyone in the Twitch chat and everyone watching at ESTV, stay tuned right here for the post-game show, as I do believe we are going to get CAD in here for an interview and possibly the Illinois Wesleyan coach. Absolutely. We're going to see what we can get there. Our producer is working on it right now. But AJ, I want to get with you. What a game we just saw for CMU. They really came out and fought today. A couple mental mistakes, but they just come up a little short. What can you say about the way CMU played today?
I mean, you can tell, as I said, that they were playing their hearts out. They were giving it everything they got, and just big kudos to them. It's just sometimes the other team is much better, and that's just what happened today. They played their heart out, and they played a level up, in my opinion. They really just brought the challenge to IWU, and it just wasn't enough, unfortunately.
Well, and as they do get that victory right there, they will go to the finals Sunday, November 22nd at 6 p.m. Eastern. Will be the finals of the Champions Division, and I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere because we have one more match slated for the evening. We will be joined by our friend Ethan Dolan as well for that match with Oliver Bass. But my goodness, let's talk about what's coming as we get ready to do some interviews. But how about the number 2 seed in the Durham Lords Esports at the number 2 seed coming in against the massive underdog, the Giant Slayer in St. Ambrose University, the 6th seed, with their big victory over the number 3 seed Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. They come into this match in the semifinals to face Durham, a tough challenge. But AJ, I'm going to start with you because I know that you are a St. Ambrose fan, and I know that's for a fact. But can they get this done?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't casted Durham since before I knew that there were even 2 divisions.
That's perfectly fine. Go ahead, AJ. Continue.
Yeah, I didn't know that there were 2 divisions back when I casted my only Durham game, if I'm remembering correctly. So I don't remember much about them, but I remember a lot of Sap and his St. Ambrose team who brought it. The number 6 St. Ambrose University taking out the number 3 KWU in spectacular fashion, and I cannot wait to be sitting in Twitch chat with you guys rooting on St. Ambrose, because after watching that match, I don't know how you don't root for him.
And Oliver, I come to you. We have seen upsets. We have seen things happen. I mean, just earlier tonight, we saw CSUDH get a big victory as the underdog seed. I mean, I don't know if you can call a number 3 seed an underdog, but you can absolutely call a 6 seed an underdog. I mean, how do you think this game is going to play out? You'll be on the call, but what are you looking for in Durham with the Cinderella St. Ambrose?
I mean, for St. Ambrose, what I'm looking for is the same thing we saw last time. Start out strong. Momentum has to be on your side. Obviously, Durham have been such a solid squad this entire year. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe they lost a single game. And in addition to that, they had the final win of the season against St. Ambrose last time. St. Ambrose were able to take a single game away from them, but that was it. So for St. Ambrose here, it's about coming out with a whole lot of momentum and being able to play a full, if you can, 5 games to your best ability. Because if you slip up even the tiniest bit, Durham's going to jump on it like there is no other.
Well, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, we are joined now, I believe we have him there, by the head coach of Illinois Wesleyan. I think Coach Fletch is here. Coach, do I have you?
You do. Can you guys hear me loud and clear?
I can
Man,
hear you.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give you a quick correction, though, real quick. Our head coach for Rocket League is Ryu. I'm the director of esports at Illinois Wesleyan, so I don't want to take credit for the hard work that he's put in.
Well, and speaking of the hard work that he has put in there, Fletch, just talk for a second before we really get into too many detailed questions. I would love just some insight on how you're feeling, and I'm obviously you're proud, but I kind of just would love to know where your head is at right now after this big victory.
Yeah, you know, in all honesty, it's rushed. We are literally, like, as we speak right now, our team is gearing up for the championship match of the ECAC, another conference. You know, I knew we had a really good team when we put this roster together. There were some extraordinarily evident pains that we had at the start of the season, some things that we recognized on day one that we needed to work out. And so we worked pretty hard on not only fixing those problems, but also bringing in a coach that was competent and capable enough to help us fix those. I mean, the roster that you guys saw tonight is a totally different roster than was here in August. So we're feeling good, man.
And what does that go, before we get into some of the caster questions, what does that go into for you? I think people would love to know, as a director, what do you look for with your coach, and what went into making those decisions about maybe making some roster changes?
So I think one of the things that people love to play at Illinois Wesleyan for is the involvement that the students have. So there's obviously tangible things that I look for in a head coach. So approachability, their ability to communicate and critique and provide feedback in a meaningful and effective way, kind of just like the standard things that you look for in a coach, right? But one of the cool things that our players get to experience is an involvement in the entire process. So every single coaching candidate that we had not only interviewed with me, but they also met our players and spoke with our players, talked about their coaching style, what kind of things they would work for, and then we would present like, hey, we know that our passing is an issue. How are you going to help us fix that, right? And so it gives the players a little bit of an incentive there to understand what the coach is approaching with. But then all the coaches also have to do a tryout. And so our coaches actually, like our prospective coaches actually try the players out and vice versa, because we want a coach who wants to work with us and we want our players to want to work with the coach, right?
Mhm.
And so it enables that buy-in from our players on day one, because these aren't student coaches that we're putting into the role with our Rocket League team here, and so there is that kind of understanding that this isn't your best friend. He's not here to be your buddy. He's not going to be in your classes with you. He's not going to be out at parties with you. This is someone who is explicitly here to make you better at the game. And I think he's doing a great job so far.
Well, I can just tell you, I want to give you some kudos, because not only is that what you just said unbelievable, but you know what, Fletch? It shows up. Big respect to you guys as you guys came in for Illinois Wesleyan with the #1 seed in League of Legends as well. So a big shout out to the entire program that you have put together. I'd love to get to our casters. Oliver, what do you have here for the director of esports from Illinois Wesleyan?
I mean, first off, I just want to congratulate you guys on taking your win here today. Really, for a second there, we were a little bit concerned about the reverse sweep coming back, but we saw you guys absolutely buckle it down. Just got to know, for that third game, when that goal didn't go in after there was a little bit of a miscommunication, both players went for it. What were the comms like there? Were people just freaking out? Were they bitter, or was it just more, hey, we got this, it'll be fine?
We one of the biggest things that we worked on this semester is communication. It's a challenge getting my players to talk enough as it is, let alone to have them badger at each other. No, our kids, everyone on our program, the Rocket League team all gets along really well. They walk over here together, they practice together, they hang out outside of practice. And so there's very rarely situations where it's kind of like, oh man, you're screwing this up. It's really a lot of just like, hey, let's get our heads back in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Coach.
All of our players know how stressed out I get when I watch our players play. I mean, I'm the type of guy who literally will sit on the couch or sit on the chair or wherever I'm at, and like I'll jump up in good moments and my hands will be over my face in bad moments, right? And so I wasn't necessarily nervous that we were going to lose. I know we're a stronger team. I know we can win series like this, but when those things happen, I do kind of sit there and just like, oh no, everything's going wrong.
The world is crumbling. The sky is falling. AJ, go ahead.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you may want to get video of me and Bass casting a close match, no matter who it is, because we do this same thing.
Yeah,
we're not nearly as invested. So how long has this team been together? Is this a new team this semester, or have they been playing together for a little bit?
Yeah, so this team started, their first practice together was August 20th this year. Rocket League is a brand new venture for us as an esport at Illinois Wesleyan. This is our first, so the NECC and the ECAC are our first two major tournaments and conferences that we're a part of, and we're in the championship match for both. So brand new team, and I'm super stoked with how they're doing.
Well, I don't think you can ask for a better result. And Fletch, this is the last question that I'll have for you, and I'll let you get back to your team. But with, like you said, you're in the finals of another match. Well, now, Sunday, November 22nd, you are going to be in the finals of the HyperX Championships here at the NECC. And so my question to you is, what is the difference between a semifinal match? And I hate asking this question to directors and coaches, because the easiest answer is to say every game is like another game. And that's the easiest answer, right?
But I'm not buying that.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. So that's why I'm badgering the question a little bit, because Fletch, my question is, you just said brand new Rocket League squad, a team that is, I don't want to say overperforming, but absolutely, I mean, your expectations have, sure they were high, but at the finals in both these tournaments, I'm sure you weren't maybe expecting that. But now looking back at it, how do you prepare for November 22nd to get ready to face either Durham or the Cinderella in St. Ambrose?
Yeah, so we're gonna do exactly what we've been doing, right? We're gonna keep practicing, keep playing these tough matches. I mean, quite literally, right before we jumped into this match, we were in a 9.5-minute overtime with Purdue. So we have a lot of good practice partners that we put in time and energy with. So as far as kind of what's the difference between a regular and a semifinal and a championship or anything like this, I have an idea of who we're probably going to go up against in this finals, and regardless, St. Ambrose is a fantastic team, and so is Durham, and we don't know really anything about either of them. We don't scrim against them. We don't practice against them. We actually didn't play Durham during the regular season, and so we're kind of going into that match blind. What's on the line? Obviously championships, but we're gonna approach it like every other match that we play, in which every match is a championship, right? Doesn't matter if it's a regular season or a championship match. We're going to hit it as hard as we can. But there is definitely a lot more pressure, a lot more on the line, and going in blind, so to speak, always presents a pretty unique situation. But I'm going to be honest, I love St. Ambrose, and they've got an awesome director and coach and team over there. But I'm excited for the opportunity to play Durham if they are the ones that go through.
I hear you. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, what that right there is called a very slick way of trying to make a prediction, but being a nice guy at the same time. But
no, that's me putting out a grudge match. I'm telling you right now, man. Durham's like, they're one of these schools that's on the top of the ladders in Play VS, and we're a good team. We're right there next to them in that ladder. So
wow.
It could potentially be the first time we match up in a season, and that's my polite way of saying, like, I hope you make it, because we're going to take you guys down.
Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard it first. The director of esports at Illinois Wesleyan calls out Durham and says, get through your match, because we will see you in the finals. Listen, Fletch, I appreciate it. And the last thing that I'll say to you is not only congratulations on the big win tonight, but overall, I guess I do have one last question. Can you just touch on let's just touch on, would you mind touching on the experience that you had here with all your titles, just your experience that you've had here with us at the NECC?
Yeah, it's great. You know, there's really not a lot of fall competition that happens in, I shouldn't say there's not a lot of fall competition, because there's a lot, but there's not a lot of organized fall competition. And so it was a really cool opportunity for us to kind of come in fresh off of a summer where we don't make our kids play over summer. We want them to enjoy being students. So this was an opportunity for us to kind of come in, get our feet wet with competition, feel some things out. We had new staff working this year in both Rocket League and League of Legends. So it was an opportunity for them to kind of get their feet wet in an organized league. It was a great experience. I'm looking forward to more.
Well, I tell you what, Fletch, thank you for your time tonight, and big congratulations not only on your Rocket League win tonight, but a program with, you talk about League of Legends and Rocket League having new staff, and both of those teams being the regular season champions here at the NECC. So not only tonight, but congratulations on a massive, massive program. And if I tell you what, I think you're going to do great in the finals this year, but it's going to be scary to see what this team looks like in the spring. Congratulations tonight, and I'm sure hopefully we'll be talking to you on November 22nd.
Can I do one thing really, really quick?
Of course you can.
I have a lot of families and parents who have been watching literally almost every single one of our matches, and I hope they're still in the chat. And if they are, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of them. Thank you guys for being supportive of not only our esports program, but your kids playing esports and traveling from so far away to be a part of our esports program. And then I have a personal request from one of my players to give a quick shout out to Noah, who is a potential prospect coming in and joining us in the spring. Just I've got to do it. I
love it.
Players
I love
ask,
it.
so we're hitting it hard. But
ladies and gentlemen, recruiting never stops. Illinois Wesleyan, the place to be. Hey, the Titans are alive, and they definitely are alive. Fletch, thank you for your time, man, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Guys, unbelievable match. We're going to go and take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, as we will be right back with the final match of the evening. You're going to see that Durham I mean, you're going to see that Durham match versus St. Ambrose. We're going to see if that grudge match, boys, you can't get any better than the director of esports at Illinois Wesleyan calling out Durham, saying, "Hey, go get it done, because if you do, we want you in the finals." My goodness, what an interview, what a match, and what a night of Rocket League for Oliver Bass and for Voltage Plays. My name is Jaron Bell. We will see you on the other side of this short break. Don't go anywhere. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NECC, back like we never left. And my goodness, have we seen some Rocket League action tonight, and it doesn't get any better than what we are about to see. Now, first of all, you have seen some handsome casters on the desk with myself tonight as your host, but my goodness, the man himself, the Banana King, you can see the pin. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethan Dolan in the building. Ethan, what is up, my man?
Hey, I am just so excited to be here. Hearing Fletch talk about esports just got my heart pumping. It got me excited.
Yeah.
So a little extra dosage of energy after hearing that. I'm ready to run into battle. I'm ready to run into a brick wall after them. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, man, absolutely, 100%. I could not be more excited. Oliver Bass back on the call as well. And I tell you what, guys, this is a massive matchup as Durham College comes in to face off St. Ambrose University. And like we talked about in the pregame, we've talked about it all night. This is what it comes down to. We just saw the #1 seed in Illinois Westland win and go to the finals. And I tell you what, St. Ambrose, they had one win in the regular season, upset the 3 seed in Kansas Westland. I mean, listen, Ethan, your first trip down Rocket League here at the NECC, you've done it a lot in the past, but I don't think you could come in on a better match. I mean, my goodness. I mean, what are you looking for out of this match?
Hey, I am very excited. I think there's something to be said about momentum. You know, we lean on this David and Goliath metaphor a whole lot. If you dive into that story in the Bible, you know, probably not super well read, David brought 5 stones to that fight. Goliath had 4 brothers. Hey, one upset is not the end for the St. Ambrose team. I think that they have what it takes to keep on slinging those smooth stones, get another win en route to the championship.
Oh my goodness, predictions, and look, this is going to be the last one before we get into this game. I mean, Oliver, you and I have seen both these teams this year. We know what's coming. I mean, how do you think that the underdog can pull off? You know what? Actually, I don't want to know how you think the underdog can pull off. What I want to know is how you think Goliath can miss, maybe do a dodge, dip, duck, and dive and get out of the way of those stones from David, and how is Durham College going to pull off the high seed and win like they should?
If Durham wants to pull this off, it's consistency. That is the biggest thing here today. They have obviously proven throughout the season that they are a solid squad, which has both the mechanics, the rotations, and just the mental fortitude to be able to win a match like this. The question is do they bring it in playoffs? The crazy thing about the second round here for the NECC is that a lot of these teams that we all have said are, you know, definitely going to make it through, they haven't played in a week or at least a couple of days. The biggest thing for IWU, I think, that really drove them towards their win the last one is they said, hey, we were warm. We were just playing Purdue. We were ready for this match. If Durham doesn't come out here today ready for this match, they're going to severely underestimate St. Ambrose, and that is a thing they cannot do. So come into this with mental fortitude, quick play, and clean rotations, and you should have it.
Absolutely. And we will have Oliver go ahead and put ours in the chat. Let the teams know that we are ready to get this thing underway. Before we do that, I want to say thank you again to our partners, our friends at Helix Esports, for all they do behind the scenes. We are jumping in. Make sure, thank you to HyperX, ESTV, if you're watching live. This is what you're here for. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethan Dolan, he's got his sip. He's ready to go. And Oliver Bass is in the building. I am your host, Jaron Bell. Welcome to the NECC. Welcome to the semifinals. Let's get into Rocket League.
Thank you very much, Jaron. We greatly appreciate that fantastic intro. Ethan, I want to welcome you into the realm, my guy. I mean, really, going into this one, you've heard all of the hype about how good all of these teams are. What are you looking for here that's going to excite you?
I am looking for St. Ambrose to come and do something crazy right off the bat. As we see a beautiful shot lined up there, but potentially not going to come through for Durham. I'm very excited to see them. You need that gut shot right off the bat if you are the underdog. You have to get into the mental game and get some momentum. Rocket League is an esport that mimics traditional sports so much as Volt's going to convert that one for Durham as they end up striking first blood. It mimics traditional sports so much more, right? You can feel the momentum. The game is so sliding back and forth. That's what I'm looking for St. Ambrose to do right off the bat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, it's not really going to go their way to start off. 1-0 becomes with about 30 seconds in. Another one getting lined up here as Wildfire goes up to the ceiling. But like you said, it's about if St. Ambrose can come out here quickly. This mimics, Rocket League mimics normal sports, in real life, a little bit more than a lot of the other esports we see here on the channel. So that momentum is going to be so key for them. With a minute gone already, and it could be a second goal here. Durham, they're looking to take control of this game very quickly.
Absolutely, they've been very aggressive. You see them having some very nice centers. They're maintaining control of the ball, and another shot opportunity there, a goal. Volts doesn't quite have the angle of that one. We're gonna see if Vitali can play this one out of the corner, not quite able to. Sap trying to set up the pass. San Ambrose just can't quite keep the ball out of their half right now. That was their most concentrated offensive effort, and you do see it does end up going nowhere.
Absolutely. You see the final save coming out of Sap, and that's the player to watch. We mentioned this last week. Sap really doing a great job of not carrying his team, but putting his team on his back and propelling them as much as he physically could. With 3.5 minutes left here, they've done a good job of at least holding off the floodgates, but that one goal still haunting them to this second. 3 minutes left now. The question becomes, can Durham try and score another one and put the nail in the coffin, or are St. Ambrose going to come back? A little bit of miscommunication out here in the midfield, though. This is uncharacteristic of both teams as we start to see some chaos brew.
Absolutely, and I think that's kind of the key, as you said. Can Durham put this one away? Because if you are SAU, all you have to do is stick around in this game and let some magic happen, as they do miss the arrow there. Potential opportunity, but Sap just can't quite find it. Nico trying to find that. They do double quick, but they do find a save. St. Ambrose, this has been their best opportunity on offense, and once again, we do see Durham step up the defense in a timely manner, and now they're trying to find some offense of their own.
Oh my word, they're trying to find some offense of their own, and they're getting not many good opportunities right now, as there's just a bunch of chaos. Oh, and Vitali, what on earth?
Absolutely, Vitali from the top row, taking it themselves the whole way. My goodness, what a double tap off of the top side, Vitali. That feels like it could be a substantial, maybe not the last nail in the coffin, but close to it, considering the state of SAU's offense here. They really have to figure something out.
Oh my gosh, and figure something out might almost be an understatement. So far, they have really not been able to rip off many shots. They've had one. Meanwhile, everybody on DC, they're 3 for 4 right now, as another one comes here from the cross court, faceless, just a bit too out. And now the concern also becomes, not only is their defense, or is their offense a bit lackluster, now the defense is starting to break down as well here for St. Ambrose. They got to be careful. They can't afford to leave open nets like that.
Absolutely, and Vitali has had a hand in every single goal so far, right? 2 goals, has 1 assist right there. Absolute monster on the offensive end of the ball, and they are right back at it, pushing it up. Wildfire trying to find a center. Vitali maybe in position here for another one, but they don't quite have the angle to pursue that goal. Wildfire can't quite find it. Eco trying to find something for St. Ambrose. They needed a goal yesterday. Good center there, but Faceless not even in the vicinity to try to pay off that nice pass.
No, not right now. They just can't seem to find these connections. And then on the other end, they overcommit and leave their goal open. Vitali again able to get these cross-court plays. I mean, really, for the I would say the first match, or the first minute of this match, Ethan, it looked like these teams were somewhat even. Now, as time has gone on, it started to be Durham College running away with this. I mean, St. Ambrose, they got a minute 30 left. Do you really think they've got a shot, though, to try and take this one back here in game 1?
I think that at a certain point you have to accept that the game is lost, but that doesn't mean that you can't find some momentum going into game number 2, right? We've talked about how Rocket League mimics traditional sports much better than anything else. Momentum is so important. Keep that mental game so important. It's like his Volt's getting it done right there. Wildfire paying that off with the assist. It's like in a volleyball match. You know what? You may be down a whole lot of points in that first set, but if you can get something going, even finding a little bit of offense, that can completely change your mentality, completely change your mindset going to game 2. So, while this one is out of reach, they have to find something on offense so they can feel good going into game number 2 here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They need to at least score 1. The issue is the floodgates have opened up. We had a fantastic 1-2-3 play before this, and now for the 3rd time this game, the counterattack cross-court shot goes in. I mean, listen, I went into this one saying that I thought IWU was really prepared because they had played a lot before this. It's very clear to me that Durham College have been doing the exact same thing. They walk in here with Season 1 Supersonic Legend Tournament winners, and crazy thing is, you see how it's glowing like that? That means they've won it at least 3 times. These guys are not only winners, they are dominant factors in the season, in the SSL tournaments here. It's clear they put in the practice here today. They are ready to make a statement, and 6-0 to start off the match. I mean, I don't think you can make much more of a statement than that.
Yeah, not really. And Sap may have had a misdirect there on the goal, but couldn't quite close the gap. Didn't have the boost to get it done right there. And we see Wildfire on the offense, passing it off by Tally, dropping it right in front of the goal. Volts can't quite get that one to go. But as you said, 6-0, the damage has already been done. Game 1 really in the book. Sap can't get that one to go. And look at the defense by Tally, turning it into some instant offense. Just add water, trying to set up another goal for the team. Lays it right up for Wildfire.
You've got to be kidding me. This is ridiculous. Vitali taking the entire defense by himself, flicks it over to open net. Wildfire, here you go. I'm going to spoon feed this to you, my guy. And now they've got the 7-0. I mean, realistically, if they want to make this one a little bit of a meme, I'm pretty sure Durham's going to let this one go in for the Brazil. But it's not going to make much of a difference as they have dominated this game here so far. I mean, listen, we thought that there could be a shot here for St. Ambrose, and we really did hope that they would be able to play to this level. But as it stands right now, IWU's director of esports, Fletch, making a great prediction, it seems, so far.
Absolutely. There comes a point where the talent's just too much to handle, no matter the size of momentum. But this is just game 1. You never know in a best-of-5 series if for anyone in chat who watched League of Legends series unfold yesterday, a best 2 out of 3 in which we still don't know the winner, I'm going to say it's never over until it's over. But game 1, most definitely over in the books. A 7-0 win for Durham College to kick things off.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're going to see a little bit of a substitution here. Turns out they're going to take out Faceless Kraken and put in Ollie 128. I think we saw this the other time. Last time that St. Ambrose were up here, they had the reverse. They started off with Ollie, pulled him out for Faceless. Now we're going to see a little bit of a switch up here. We're going to see that Faceless comes in, or Faceless comes out, excuse me, for Ollie. And maybe this will be the key they need, because right now it doesn't look like St. Ambrose has got the momentum on their side in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, absolutely. And never underestimate the value of a fresh face bringing in some momentum, right? Bringing in something outside the game. It's demoralizing to lose 7-0, especially, I mean, just to come off, right? This is your first game of the day. To come in, get absolutely annihilated 7-0. A fresh face, I think, is just what they need. A little bit of new blood into the roster to pump it up. I think this could make a tangible difference, but there's a whole lot of things they have to do. And to me, that starts with securing the midfield here and improving their transition game. I mean, they couldn't keep the ball out of their half. It's just that plain and simple.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Their midfield presence was just non-existent. They were either in their opponent's final third or they were in their own final third pretty much the entire game. Like you said, if they can come into this one and have the momentum on their side, are able to control this one at midfield, they should have a shot here. But, I mean, we're going to have to see. Hopefully the super sub comes through and provides some new life to everybody off of St. Ambrose as we get started here in game number 2. I mentioned this last week, I think, as well. I'm a huge proponent of subs in Rocket League. I think that they need to be shown in pro play as well. I think that teams don't necessarily take advantage enough of the fact that teams, when you change out a player, it throws the entire defense off. They don't exactly know how predictable you're going to be. They don't know where you're going to go. So right now for St. Ambrose, they got to run with this before it starts getting familiar. For this minute or minute and a half of where, whoa, the play is going to look weird for Ollie, they're going to have to run with it. Speaking of weird, that's not the weird play I was talking about. You can't get uncomfortable, St. Ambrose. You need Durham to get uncomfortable.
Man, Nico and Ollie just not quite on the same page. They're passing it right over to Wildfire. But before that happened, what did we see? That new blood. You're talking about substitution being a good thing. Ollie coming through with a big save. It looked like Vitali was going to continue their reign of terror on this defense. Ollie coming through with yet another save. So this new addition to the lineup has been good so far, at least on the defensive end. They have to find a way to transfer that into some offense, however.
Yeah, right now the coordination just doesn't look like it's there quite yet. Again, this is also due to the fact that they've got a new rotation in here, so Ollie cutting it a little bit differently than before. But you just saw Neko and Sap try to get some sort of passing play out. They didn't quite get the coordination, and then the rotations broke down immediately. So my biggest concern here is, when you've got all the players there and you don't know what to do, where's the communication? Volts, this shouldn't have gone in my opinion.
Yeah, not a fantastic shot on goal, but the only one even near it is Nico, who was on the front post, right? There's no rotating in the goal. No one's saying, hey, I'm in goal, I'm back post. All players just not really paying attention after they finally had a crack at offense, right? They did generate their first shot on goal, but at what cost? As we see the Fighting Bees fall down 2-0 here in game number 2.
Yeah, the crazy part about this is a lot of the games we've seen here today, the stat lines look completely back and forth. Oh my word, what a save from Wildfire. Speaking of which, I mean, I was going to mention how much the stat lines have looked different between these teams. The stat lines here today, though, not very different at all. 3 shots to everyone off of St. Ambrose, who are now going to finally find a goal. So let's make it 4 shots, 1 for 4 here, as we get a little bit of a, I guess we'll call it a misread from Wildfire here, who didn't see the 50-50 coming up. But again, this is one of these games where despite Durham being in the lead, they don't have the stats in their favor. 5 shots to 4 shots and 3 saves apiece. So there's an opportunity still here for St. Ambrose yet.
Yeah, St. Ambrose pouring in these shots on goal. Their offense looking much better. Kind of felt more like a lucky break. Once again, no rotating there. Just kind of a 50-50 that resulted in a goal. Durham kind of caught asleep right there. We're going to see if St. Ambrose can transfer that momentum. They really need to sap. Looking for something here. Oh, a miss, but Sap not able to do anything with that one. Nico just trying to play this one right out of the corner, but Wildfire there to potentially set up the team. Good demo from Sap, going to buy him some time.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of at least trying to build out a rotation. I think the biggest thing that is holding them back, though, is those hesitations. You see how Ollie just waits to try and dribble that one. If he had popped it clearer to a teammate, they would have been able to run with the momentum, but instead, this goes the other way, and Vitali gets an open net to shoot upon. All of that built from the hesitation out at midfield. We mentioned 2 things going into this one, is they needed rotations and their midfield presence to change here, both of which have changed. Not for the better, though.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Nico was doing there, trying to get a bump off, but left goal absolutely unabandoned. Once again, it really feels like the communication not on point, not the touch they were looking for. Vitali, oh, not able to convert. Sap, what a play. That may just keep the Fighting Bees' hopes alive here. 2 points down is manageable, but going down 3 goals at this point would be absolutely devastating. What can they do on the offensive end? They have to try and take advantage of this little scrap of momentum they found.
Oh my word, and as much as I want them to try and take advantage at the same time, I mean, Durham are getting so close to hitting these clips right now. I'd love to see Durham at least hit one more fantastic clip. Not necessarily a clip there, but they will at least get another goal in. 4-1 it becomes. I mean, I know you and I both don't like to call this one early, but we got 2 minutes left in a team that's just starting to roll with it.
Absolutely, trailing 3 goals. I mean, starting to roll with it, I think is absolutely the right phrase there. You know, often it takes a semi-truck a little bit to get up to top speed, but right now, it took them no time at all. They came out game 1 on fire, and they are showing no signs of slowing down. Just get out of the way of Durham right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the biggest thing so far for Durham is the fact that St. Ambrose, for as well as they've started to play here, their passes are getting linked up more. Their defense is starting to make those adjustments that we've been waiting for. It's still not to the same level as Durham. The crazy part is that St. Ambrose, they can play as great of a game as they want, but when you can get double taps like that out of nowhere, I mean, it's a hard team to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just see the depth of Durham here, right? In game 1, it was Vitali pouring in. Game 2 here, Wildfire, 3 goals, 3 saves, 3 shots. I mean, 100% shooting right there. Can't ask for much better of a performance out of one of your players. And very favorable start off this tip-off for them.
Absolutely. I mean, a big part about this is also we mentioned the highlight players here for everybody off St. Ambrose was going to be Sap. We mentioned how it was going to be his responsibility to try and not necessarily carry the team, but help them and propel them to this victory. He's doing the best he can. He's got the only goal of the game, 3 saves as well. A monster on both halves of the field, but unfortunately, it's just not enough. You've got everyone off of Durham possibly as the MVP. I mean, it's really hard to have 1 MVP versus 3.
Ooh, Sap, bit of a risky clear there, but they do end up getting it out of their own half. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of like we're talking about game number 1, right? 40 seconds, trailing 4 goals. You have to be going in the tank right now. You have to be asking, what can we do right now to get some momentum? What can we do to change our game plan right now? Because you have to once again go back to the drawing board on your midfield field gameplay simply has not been good enough trying to generate offensive opportunities off of your defensive endeavors.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, oh my word! I was going to say, they don't seem to have that threatening ability that everybody off of Durham have, but this is a great 50. This is an even better shot out of Ollie. You gotta be kidding me.
Absolutely snuck it right by two defenders. An absolute masterpiece. Young Mozart in the house. Ollie getting it done, but once again, it feels it's far too little, far too late. Trailing 3 here. They would need a miracle and a half with 10 seconds on the clock.
Oh my gosh, not only would they need a miracle and a half, they need a miracle and a half that then carries on over into the next game. Like you and I said, I mean, listen, they've played a great game. St. Ambrose have really come up to bat here, but you're playing against the it's a home run derby right now. If you're not hitting everything out of the park, it doesn't count. This is just a ridiculous performance out of Durham College so far.
Yeah, Durham absolutely showed up to the track meet in a race car. SAU just trying to keep up on foot, and it's not looking pretty for them. Now being pushed to the brink of elimination here. What do the Bees have to do in your mind, right? We talk about these kind of vague, like, you know, they have to improve their mid-game, have to improve the transition. What is something very specific that they have to key in on if they want to get the dub here and prolong the series?
The biggest thing is rotations, rotations, rotations. I'll say it as many times as I can because what you and I have mentioned this entire time, the midfield presence, the coordination on the back half to then make a good clear out of their own half so that they can have a quick transition, the actual threatening offenses where they make passing plays. I mean, even you spoke on it perfectly. If you don't have the ability to run with a counterattack at midfield, you're just going to get scored on counterattacks against you. So as it stands right now, St. Ambrose, they got to work as a unit. If they work as a team, if the rotations are on point, they've got a shot against this Durham College team. But Durham, I mean, you have to play pretty much perfect. Durham has brought their A game here today.
Absolutely. SAU in a dire position, trailing 2 games to none. They need a reverse sweep against a team that's looking oh so strong. Do they have a little bit of pixie dust left after their miracle upset in their last playoff round? We are going to see here heading into game number 3, a 2-0 Durham lead right now over the SAU Fighting Bees. And right off the bat, Durham getting a nice look at the goal there. Nothing going to come of it. Volts trying to set up Wildfire, but they can't find anything there either. SAU on the counterattack. This is where they need to thrive.
They need to thrive, and they need to do it quickly. They had a little bit of momentum on their side, but again, the hesitation off of that pass is what broke them down. Not a bad touch out to the middle out of Ollie, but Vitali on the other end just ready to run with this one. 30 seconds gone, and already we're starting to see a very different team out of St. Ambrose here as they're trying to pick up the pace to 100-fold.
Yeah, absolutely. They are holding down that boost button. I wouldn't be surprised if each and every player duct taped down that boost button on their controllers. They are going full speed all the time. We're going to see if it pays off. Wildfire may have a solid opportunity here. Bit of a breakaway, but good save there by Sap, getting up ahead of it. Nico trying to find something, but Volts is going to be the first one there in the aerial. Ollie trying to clear out of the corner, and already here we do see it. Their defense to offense transition game much improved. I like what I'm seeing out of the Fighting Bees here in game number 3.
Oh, absolutely. They're doing a great job of making sure that these touches are precise. You see the 50 come out of Sap there, and that's what we're hoping for, is these plays where they not only get the touch, but they're able to make a possession out of it. They're able to make something threatening happen. They've managed to keep everyone, on Durham in their own half, and with low boost, that one boost from Volts, though, might just transition it. That it will. One beat, second one not. Sap's going to pop this back into the opponent's half again. Look how uncomfortable Durham look here. This is something we haven't seen the rest of this game right now. They're struggling to get out of their own half and make a possession.
Absolutely, SAU has completely flipped the script and dipped the chip here in game number 3. 3 minutes, 10 seconds ago, still scoreless. They are slowing down the Durham machine, but Vitali says not so quickly. Sap there with an absolutely beautiful save. Wildfire trying to keep the possession alive. Ollie up in the air. The substitution coming in game number 2, coming up even bigger here in game number 3. What can they get on the offensive end?
And this is a bit, not only is their offense starting to pick up heat, their defense is stellar right now. We had mentioned previously how Sap had been the biggest man on both halves of the field, defense and offense, as he makes another save. The question is now that his team is starting to set up, can they do the same thing? Ollie already coming away with a save here, seeing that he's going to be a good good defensive player. The question is now when they get to the other end, can they punish? Half the game gone here. We've seen Durham be lethal. Can we see everyone off of St. Ambrose now as they go back into their own half? This one almost going as a counterattack.
Wow.
That last-minute touch from Bolt saves them, but we're not done quite yet.
Yeah, Sap looking for the redirect there, playing a little passively. Nico there for the save in goal, and here comes Durham. They may have a solid shot. Sap trying to clear that one. Volt's going to keep it alive, passing to Wildfire, popping it up to Vitali. Oh, Nico right there. Ollie to clean it up with the dustpan. SAU keeps this game knotted up at 0 apiece, and here might be a shot on goal, but Volt's with some good defense.
Oh my word, I mentioned how we needed all of the players to show up on defense, and all of them they have. Every player has made a save so far, but the last one won't make it. Oh no, my caster curse just comes out at the worst of times.
Absolutely, Vitali just gonna dribble this one right by Ollie. Nico not quite in position to make a save there. San Ambrose being pushed to the edge here. They need a goal to at minimum send this game into overtime, but I think that they're well equipped to do it, playing much better here in game number 3. But Wildfire guiding it in, not quite gonna find anything there. Sap does get up. Ooh, no follow-up there though. Nico played a little passive.
Yeah, no one there to follow it up. The biggest issue when you get scored on like this is that you immediately go, okay, well, our last strategy wasn't working. Time to switch it up. This is not what St. Ambrose need to do right now. They've played a great game thus far. It's just unfortunate you couldn't make the final save when it counted. However, you need to stay with what you've been working with because it's looked good so far. Ollie's got a shot out. No one there to follow up. The rotations are starting to break here for St. Ambrose. I need them to refocus if they want to continue this series.
They have to keep their endurance up. As you said, they played so well all game long. They've just let in one goal, but there's the second. Vitali, the absolute menace from game number 1, coming back here in game number 3 and trying to send SAU home. They are going to need that aforementioned miracle and a half. 46 seconds, trailing 2 goals to none. Their tournament lives are on the line. This is Cinderella's last chance to dance.
Oh my word, and as much as Cinderella wants one more dance, I'm okay seeing it end off of that goal. I mentioned I wanted to see Durham hit at least one massive clip here in this game, and boy did they. Vitali with what is one of the hardest reads. If you've ever tried playing Rocket League and getting those reads off the corner where they roll down like that, it's a whole lot harder than it looks. But with a pinch in the middle, are you kidding me?
Look at the pass here. Wildfire dropping it right into Vitali. The three-piece, everyone getting their hands on that play. Oh my goodness, a true piece of art right there. Puts Durham up 3-0 and is probably going to be the finishing touches on this series.
I mean, listen, I usually hate when my caster curse comes out and all of a sudden they show me corrected. I immediately call that being the nicest shot of the match, and then they one-up it with a pinch. I mean, literally, DC, for as well as they've played this entire series, this last game has shown their offensive prowess to another end, and it's shown their resilience. They played against a team which really did step it up here at the end, yet somehow we're going to walk away with 4 goals to their name. Listen, Durham, you guys got a lot of momentum on your side. This is a message and a half to IWU. Illinois Wesleyan, you better be watching this one.
Absolutely, a lot of notes to be taken, and we talked about it. SAU kicked it up there in the first half of that game, right? I think they held them scoreless in the last 2 minutes. I think they just poured in 4 goals in the last 2 minutes of that game. My time might be a little off, but it's not too far off from there. The clock strikes midnight on the Cinderella story. The carriage turning back into a pumpkin for SAU. Just not enough firepower to hang in there with Durham.
My goodness, you could not say it any better, as midnight has come, and it's not Halloween anymore. Pumpkins are not what is on the slate, and what a massive victory. Guys, I want to jump right in. We will have, for everyone in the Twitch chat and everyone watching at ESTV, I will have an interview, I think we're going to have Vitali coming into the interview to get to chat with us a little bit. And my goodness, I think, Ethan, I'm going to start with you. Obviously, your energy is unbelievable. We love having you here at the NECC. I cannot wait till you and I get on the field together at some point. But right now, you saw an unbelievable match. Right, to start off, how about Durham? They come in here as the 2 seed, but dominated this match like they should. What did you see out of Durham today that got you excited for the finals?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that gets me excited is just the depth, right? We talked about in different games, the scoring came from different places. Mostly we did see vitality throughout, but they go 3 deep on this roster. There's no doubt about it. The firepower just absolutely unbelievable. Every single touch, every single opportunity was like the 4th of July. I think no matter what, this is going to be a high-scoring team. It's not about how do you stop Durham. It's about how can you slow Durham down.
Absolutely. That is a great point. And look, Oliver, we've seen a lot of Rocket League matches together. And I mean, could you ask in the Champions Division, in the top division in all of the NECC and some of the biggest schools in the country, could you ask for a better final as it's the 1 seed facing the 2 seed? Could you ask for a better final?
I think not. I mean, honestly, listen, for as great as IWU was here today, there were some things that we thought they could work on. They could make other small corrections and they could come into the final really insane. But that doesn't take away from the fact that they are still by far, they're the number 1 team in this league. They are the number 1 seed. They came into this dominant. The crazy thing is, though, Durham today, I mean, they might as well be the number 1 seed. Durham was hitting clips I hadn't seen the rest of the season. Those last 2 goals they were able to make at the very end of the series were some of the most fantastic goals I've seen the entire season. I mean, it was just ridiculous how well they were on point here. IWU, you better get ready because you guys mentioned you've been practicing against schools. It's very clear that Durham has been practicing as well.
Oh, you're completely right. Again, we want to say GGs to St. Ambrose University, just not enough today. They've earned their spot. They took down the 3 seed to get this opportunity, but today Durham was too much. And part of that onslaught from Durham was the man Vitali himself. Vitali, I think we have you in here, my man. First of all, how are you feeling? And congrats on a huge match.
Yeah, thanks. I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, we came up, we knew what we had to do, and we accomplished what we knew we had to do. So,
oh, hey, that is exactly the way it was. Now, listen, Ethan, you were on the play there. I'm sure that you said Vitali's name a lot tonight, so I'd love to hear what you have for the man himself.
It's very hard to not talk about the man who is getting it done. First of all, just congratulations, moving on. Very excited to see you play in your next game. I just have to know, what is the mentality like going up against, you talk about going up against a 6 seed versus going up against a 1 seed. How does that change? Is the preparation exactly the same? Does the strategy remain the same? Are you guys confident in what you did tonight and just replicating that moving forward?
I mean, I think we're pretty confident no matter who we play. Obviously, that sounds probably a little bit like egotistical, but I know we're a good team. So we come out, we have a game plan that we like to execute, and I mean, we executed perfectly. So going up against Illinois Wesleyan, I know of them. I haven't heard a whole lot of about them, but they're talking smack about us. I don't know, man. So we'll see what happens.
Fan the flames, baby.
Okay,
fan the flames.
Listen, you and I are gonna get into that. So Bass, don't you dare ask that question. But Oliver, go ahead and break down. Ask him about the match, man. Go ahead. You said his name a lot tonight too, and he well deserved.
Oh yeah, well deserved indeed. I mean, really, my question is I guess you guys clearly had the momentum throughout the match. The first 2 matches were very much you guys were pulling away there very quickly. You had large leads at a pretty decent pace. The final match, it looked like you guys were just trying to set up these, I'll call them clips for now. They were starting to set up some pretty ridiculous shots. What was the reaction in your guys' Discord or wherever you're talking for the last 2? Because the pinch plus the read off the wall or off the corner you had were both ridiculous shots. Ridiculous.
I mean, the pinch was not planned, but I saw Wild going up, and I'm like, maybe you know what? Maybe I'll help him out here and give him an outlet here. For the read off the corner, that was just a nice shot. I mean, it was a great pass from Volt. So I give a lot of credit to my teammates. I mean, I have scored quite a bit, but a lot of it comes from passes from my teammates. So I appreciate them setting me up for sure.
And especially to your teammates, you got a lot of opportunities tonight. Before we get into it too much more, I think all of us as casters and everybody watching at home would love to know, how long have you and this team been together, and where does that chemistry come from? Because a lot of times tonight we saw some of the best passing that we've seen in the NECC. How long have you guys been together, and is that something in your communication, something you guys really work on?
We've been together a few months. We played. Me and Wildfire played in the summer series. Volts came on late, like the CCA summer series, where we were up against like pretty good talent. So we had a lot of months to kind of iron things out. Everything's, you take it a day at a time. You work on things as far, as much as you can. But the chemistry is really built over the last few months. It's definitely come through now. When we were first starting to play, it was definitely tough, but now we're like definitely a lot better as a team than when we started. So.
Absolutely. And so look, I would like to say before I ask the question that I usually would preface it by saying I don't like to be that guy, but honestly, I'm not going to lie to you because I am that guy. And so my question to you is this. It's plain and simple. We heard from Illinois Wesleyan before this match, and they openly said, the director of esports talks about his team, his captains. A little sippy sip before we get into it. That's right, Ethan, because you know what's coming, and I'm excited as well. Look, they openly said, we respect St. Ambrose and we respect Durham, but we know that Durham is a big team, and we want them to win this game because if they come to the finals against us, we are going to take them down. Honestly, I just want to hear your response.
I mean, we swept our semis, didn't we? Did they? I don't think so.
Oh my goodness, they did not. My question is, what do you look for when you're getting ready to face off, and do we see a rivalry starting here at the NECC?
No. See, we have to be at the same level for a rivalry to start.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa. Whoa. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, look. The mic has been dropped. I've got nothing else to ask you, my friend. I will tell you this much. Congratulations. And ladies and gentlemen, I am talking to you at home. If you do not have plans yet for November 22nd on Sunday to see the championship game, the #1 seed versus the #2 seed, listen, Vitaly, we will see you on Sunday. And let me go ahead. I don't think I need to ask, but what's your prediction for the championship game?
Oh, 3-0 sweep, easy. Like, there's no chance. But thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
See you, buddy. Absolutely. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick before we let you go, you got anyone you want to shout out?
Yeah, what's the plug?
Shout out my teammates. For sure, they're a big thing. Follow me on Twitter at @it's_Vitaly.
There it is.
Thank you. But yeah, thank you guys very much for hosting us. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, buddy. We'll see you on
Absolutely.
Sunday. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, look, listen.
Wow.
You can't ask for it any better. I don't know if you guys are football fans, but I'm football fans and I'm a Terrell Owens fans. And ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready because it is going to be unbelievable. I am almost more hyped from that interview than I am from the gameplay we saw tonight. Ethan, I'm going to come to you because I know that you are just busting at the seams like I am to get in on that deal. How about the #1 seed saying, I hope you win because if you come over here, we'll take you down. And then the #2 seed basically saying, that sounds good, but I've never heard of you. You're going down. My goodness, we have a match on our hands.
We absolutely do. And the best part about sports in general is what happens between the lines, what happens off the field, what builds into these games. And the story is no different in esports, folks. Where there is smoke, there is bound to be fire. There was a lot of smoke talk tonight. There will absolutely be some flames out on the pitch when these two meet. As you said, T.O., it's very, very reminiscent of taking a kneel on the Dallas Star in the middle of Jerry World, right? There's a lot of disrespect being dropped. I personally love it. I think we're going to see some fireworks. I'm predicting a high scoring finals. We just saw Durham put up a lot of points. IWU put up a lot of points. Durham was able to smother out SAU in the midfield. I don't think the story will be the same going up against Wesleyan.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it could not get any better. Oliver, you and I have had the chance to do a lot of Rocket League together so far, and could you be more hyped for a match? I mean, without a doubt, it's the two best teams in this conference that earned it. I mean, it's the 1, it's the 2, it's the NECC National Championship. I mean, Oliver,
What do you
my
add?
goodness.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is one of these things where everyone talks about it. You're like, playoffs is a whole different breed. I mentioned it even behind the scenes in the booth where I had mentioned tons of times when I've done Rocket Casts like this and you get into the playoffs, all of a sudden, these upsets come out of nowhere. You never know what's going to happen. We saw one here today. CSUDH is also going to be playing the number 1 seed, but they're the number 3. I mean, this weekend's going to be action-packed. You've got the 2 best teams in one division going up against each other. Then you got the best team and an upset in the other one. If you miss this weekend, you got no one to blame but yourself, and you absolutely should not. We've got action coming all over the place here in the next couple of days. I mean, please stick around. We got tons of great esports coming.
You're absolutely correct. And before we get into it a little bit more, Ethan, I do want to ask you about November 19th, as League of Legends is in full swing, and I can't not have you here and at least touch base on the amount of action that we have in the League of Legends division here at the NECC. Man, could you just break down a little bit what's going on over there? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely. So I don't think a decision, let me pull up the Twitter here just so I make sure I have the bracket right. I don't think a decision has been rendered on that Becker game from last night. It's being rendered right now. Caleb, one more time.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, that is our producer talking. We are not. Go ahead. So, Ethan, break down what you just heard and the magnitude of what we just heard.
Okay, so yesterday we did see a matchup between the other school, Champlain University and Becker, and there was multiple pauses, a lot of dispute, teams trying to move on to the semifinals, and we ended the night with no clear winner. Game number 3, go watch the clip. I believe it's called "There's a Fire in the Tumbleweed Factory." was an absolutely insane game number 3, in which Champlain was one right click, one auto attack from finishing off Becker. Becker somehow held the miracle, the hand of God slid in. They were able to win that game, and we didn't know who won at the end of the night. But so right now, as Caleb said, a replay is happening. The winner will be moving on. I mean, absolutely insanely close series that we saw unravel. That was only the second matchup of the night. The first matchup, if memory serves, so much craziness. We talk about Rocket League going on right here. We also saw Midland, the 3 seed, take down North Central Technical, the Timberwolves. Was very, very exciting. Midland is absolutely flexing their muscles. They are a team you're going to want to watch moving forward. Same schedule, Saturday, Sunday, more League of Legends. Super excited for everything going down.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing, basically what he's saying is the League of Legends is like the presidential election here at the NECC. It's confusing and not a clear-cut winner, ladies and gentlemen. But I tell you what, we're going to jump in. Before I let us get out of here, I'd love to just hear, Oliver, from you first. Just your take on the NECC, man, where we're at. I mean, this is insane. Man,
this has been ridiculous. I mean, we've had an inaugural season that's been like no other. I mean, if you guys think that this season has been ridiculous, just wait until we come around next year. I mean, this is just going to be nuts. We've got tons of great competition already. We plan to add more. We hope that we can give you guys the best cast every time. And I think so far, I mean, we really have. We've had nonstop action every single week. If you guys weren't here for the normal season, we are 5 days a week with different esports on every single day, rounding out the week with Rocket League as we always do. I mean, really, if you're trying to get in on the action, please just stick around because we've got tons more coming up. And it won't even just be next season. Stick around for the off season because we got some surprises coming up.
Absolutely.
Jaron, I have one thing to say very quickly. A quick interjection. Last night on stream, I promised chat that since I have the suit on the top half, I would do a pants reveal.
Wait. Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, you gotta wait because I was gonna bring you in and pivot to
All right,
that.
hey, my bad. I jumped the gun. That's
look,
on me. That's on me.
First of all, it's the first time that you and I have worked together, and I know you're used to doing this by yourself, but I will bring you to the pants party, okay? But before we get into Ethan Dolan's pants reveal, ladies and gentlemen, you see what I'm doing here? I'm making people wait so they hear me do this ad read, then we'll do that.
You're right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to our friends at Helix Esports for all they do for us behind the scenes, our friends at MetaPro Gaming, and really for all that they do for us. We love them so much. Of course, you can see all of these three handsome casters, including myself. We all have on our HyperX headphones. HyperX, some of the best gear in gaming, now comes to the NECC. All of the champions here at the NECC, each player will get their choice between, I believe it's a headset, a keyboard, and all kinds of options, and some swag bags that they will get courtesy of HyperX. So we are so grateful to them for doing that. And lastly, ESTV, our linear TV partner. We are so grateful to them. If you haven't downloaded ESTV yet, you can do so on Samsung TV Plus, Vizio, even on the Roku channel. You can download their platform and check out esports action from around the globe 24/7 on their platform. And if you haven't heard some of the numbers that they are getting over at ESTV, yes, it is unbelievable. And ladies and gentlemen, on ESTV, if you just flipped over and you're wondering why I'm about to talk about this other caster's pants, you're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, you've waited for it all night. Ethan Dolan, your first trip here with me. We have to see the beautiful suit top, the beautiful banana pin, looking like, basically looking like you fell out of the Wolf of Wall Street. You have to stand up and let us see the pants reveal for the evening.
All right, well, today, first of all, we also talked about the Daily Mug reveal. We got the Pineapple Rock today, but today we decided to go with these absolutely beautiful 8-inch seam floral blue pastel joints. That's what we're rocking today. Hey! Nice, cool and comfortable. I had to let the thighs get some screen time today. You know, I knew it was going to be a little hot. I knew it was going to be a little heavy. San Ambrose coming in with that underdog, bringing the heat. I had to cool it down a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is this much right here. Welcome to the NECC. I am your host. And ladies and gentlemen, for Oliver Bass, for Ethan Dolan, the entire staff, our commissioner, Jacob Van Ryan, who is so proud of us, by the way, and our director of esports, Caleb Glooby, who is really the one that lets the monkeys loose from the zoo. And he is the one that we blame him for all this. Ladies and gentlemen, Caleb Glooby, our director of esports, for all the interns, everyone behind the scenes, we are so grateful. And here is what I will say. You heard, we have a rivalry in the making. We have Valorant action tomorrow. We have Overwatch action the following day. We round it out this weekend with the finals. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Follow us on social media at NECC Games on Twitter and Instagram for live updates, announcements, and giveaways. Guys, what a night. And until next time, I am so grateful to have these guys. For Oliver Bass, for Ethan Dolan, my name is Jaron Bell. I will be your host throughout the playoffs. And until next time, stay beautiful, stay blessed, GGs, and welcome to the NECC. We'll see you guys tomorrow.